We have to do roll call. Okay, good evening. Thank you to this regular board meeting, May 28th, 2026. We are going to call this meeting to order at 5:46, and then I'm going to proceed to roll call. Rick Diaz,
Here.
Angelo DeMarco,
Here.
I'm here, and our superintendent is here. So we have a quorum, and now we will open it up for public comment on closed session matters. Is there anyone in the library for public comment on closed session matters? Seeing none, we will go to Zoom. Is there anyone on Zoom? Okay. Seeing none, I'm closing public comment on closed session items, and we will recess to closed session at 5:46 p.m. Good evening. Welcome. The time is 6:07 and we will reconvene to open session. The next item on the agenda is the flag salute. I would ask you to all please rise. 1, 2, 3. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, next is report of action taken in closed session, and there was no action taken in closed session to report. Next, we'll be moving on to adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, agenda is adopted. Next, we will move on to the adoption of the consent. I invite a motion.
Will there be comments after or before?
Yeah, would you like to, is it?
Because we're not going over any of the consents, right?
Yeah, we're not going over it. Would you like to pull or comment on anything before?
Just comment. I don't need to pull, just comment.
Okay, so let's go ahead and make the motion and then I will open it up for comments before we vote. Okay.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, all those sorry. Or is there any comments, changes on any of the items on the consent agenda?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, do you have any, Angela? Okay. I will now ask for a vote. All of those in favor of the consent agenda?
Aye.
Aye, okay. The consent agenda is adopted. Next, we will move on to recognitions and presentations, and we're going to start with our recognition of the CTE Student of the Year. Yay! Crystal Bella?
I guess
Okay, or Via?
that's a good
Okay.
question. I'm not sure.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here, Crystal. The board would like to recognize you, you're a senior this year, for being named the district's JPA Career Technical Education Student of the Year. As a student in the North Monterey County High School culinary pathway, Crystal, you've demonstrated outstanding achievement, leadership, dedication, and growth throughout your 4 years in the program. Your recognition, this recognition reflects your commitment to career technical education and the positive impact you've made within the culinary pathway and the school community. So today we salute you. We'd like to present you with this certificate and as our recognition, and we'd also like to take a picture with you, please. Yeah. Okay. Horseshoe of love. Let's go, guys.
Hang on, look guys.
Oh, really? Come. You want to take a picture with all of us? Come on. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Sorry.
I was a first grade teacher.
Oh. It's a well.
Yeah.
Johnson Plans University. Yes. Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, thank you again, Crystal, for being here and we celebrate you. Our next recognition will be students awarded the State Seal of Civic Engagement. Yeah. Hey, there they are. We love this part of the year. We love celebrating our students, and each of you is so amazing in your own right. And some of you look familiar. You've been here before the board before, so we love to see you throughout the year. The board will recognize 9 Monterey County High School students who have been awarded the California State Seal of Civic Engagement for the 25-26 school year. The State Seal of Civic Engagement honors students who demonstrate excellence in civic education and participation, as well as a commitment to addressing community needs through meaningful service and leadership. And I know many of you have done that. You've recognized the needs in your community and you've stepped up for them. So bravo. To earn the seal, students completed a community-centered project that included at least 10 hours of service, demonstrated impact on an issue important to them, completed a self-reflection, and obtained a letter of recommendation from a community member. The following students will receive the State Seal of Civic Engagement. So I have certificates. I'm going to ask Angelo to help me present these, please, and then we'll take a picture. The first is Esmeralda Lopez. She here?
Not tonight.
No? Okay. Mayela A. Zamudio Valencio. Okay. Valeria or right? Am I saying that right? Wonderful. Valeria Cortez Palomarin. Yay. Nancy Hernandez Gabriel.
No, Nancy.
No, okay. Dayemi Magana. Israel Diaz Perea.
No, Israel.
No, okay. Carmen Michelle Lezama Ramirez. Yay! Did I say that right? Probably not. Okay. Hector Basurto Toledano. Am I butchering that? I'm sorry. And then we have one more. Griselda Diaz Salvador. Last but not least. The district congratulates these students for their outstanding civic leadership, service, and commitment to their communities. So bravo. Yeah. Okay, so if you come to the center, we're going to take a picture. Anybody else who's in the audience who'd like to be in the picture, we'd love to have you as part of our community in the picture. So please don't be shy. There you go. So you're all seniors? Oh, will we see you at graduation? We're so excited.
Good.
Yeah, please, come join us in the picture. Everybody.
Front seat.
Yes, please, come on in. Come in, don't be shy. We love our community, we do it together. Nobody does it alone. No, right? I'm not here. I mean, yes, nobody does it alone. Yeah, come on, come get it. Glucose. Very nice. Very nice. Oh. Yeah. We'll be seeing you soon. We're ready for our graduation. Next, we will be recognizing the middle school wrestling team. Are they here? Yay! Just come to this podium if you're here. The wrestling team, yeah, please.
Please come up.
Please. Vanna.
Right here is perfect.
Yeah, right here in the middle.
What are we gonna bring?
Sure. I can bring my microphone. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. Oh my, I'm freestyling. Oh. I think it's karaoke time. No, I'm just teasing. Okay, the board would like to recognize the North Monterey County Middle School Wrestling Team for their outstanding performance during the 2026 league final season. The girls and boys wrestling teams demonstrated exceptional dedication, perseverance, sportsmanship, and teamwork throughout the year, competing with the determination and heart. I love it. The board also recognizes the dedication and leadership of the coaching staff, right? Because students can't do it without the coaches. Head coach Vic Galvez, assistant head coach Troy Orozco, assistant coach Skylar Orozco, North Monterey County Wrestling alumni, and then assistant coach Aiden Gonzalez, current North County wrestler. Oh, how wonderful. So from the high school mentoring the middle school. I love it. Please join us in congratulating these student athletes and our coaches for the commitment, hard work, and representation of the district throughout the wrestling season. Bravo, guys. We're so proud of you. Yay! Okay, now I have your certificates. So Evan, is Evan here? Okay. Penelope? No? Okay. Jennifer? Amy? Amy Jimenez, here she is. Thank you, Amy. Okay. Dominus Castillo, Victoria Ayala. Oh, there she is. Yay! Okay, Maria, I'm assuming Maria's not here.
Maria's here.
She is wonderful. Come here, Maria. You were hiding in the back. Dougie Hernandez? No, he's not present. Okay. Andrea? No. Okay. Alexa? No. That's so wonderful. Look at all this participation. Avery? No. Okay. Raul? No. Okay. Stephen? No. Okay. Isaiah? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Quolet? Help me with this name.
Colette.
Quolet. Okay. That's a very pretty name. Okay. George? George Jorge? No? Okay. Jamie? Jaime? Jamie? Okay. Jaime! Yay! Jaime! Wonderful. I'm sorry. You guys are gonna tease me, bust my chops for that, huh? Okay. Andrew? Yay, Andrew! Garcia, thank you so much. Felipe Serrano? No? Okay. Andy Gomez? No? Okay. Brennan Feliciano? Yay, Brennan! Thank you so much. Jose Sanchez? Okay. Andrew Islas? Yay! And then are we missing a certificate? No, we're not. These are the coaches right here. Okay. Please come take a picture with us. Okay. Students. Again, congratulations to our wrestling team, and I hope to see some of you wrestling in high school. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for being here. Okay, thank you. Okay, and next we will be recognizing our high school baseball and softball teams. Do we have students here or coaches from our high school baseball and softball teams? Yes, please come up to the front, up to the podium, if there's anybody here for the baseball and softball team. No? Nobody's present?
University students.
Oh.
Yes, so.
I still want to go ahead and recognize the North Monterey County High School baseball and softball teams for their outstanding achievements during the 2026 season. I mean, it's definitely been one for the record books. Both teams earned qualification to the Central Coast Section CCS playoffs, demonstrating exceptional athletic performance, teamwork, and dedication throughout the season. The softball team also captured the Pacific Coast Athletic League Cyprus Division Championship, marking an important accomplishment for the program and the school community. The district congratulates the student athletes and coaching staff for their hard work, perseverance, and representation of North Monterey County High School throughout the season. So it really is quite an accomplishment for both teams to be playing at such a high level. It takes a great commitment from the students and the coaches, so we definitely want to honor them. And we also want to recognize Rick's daughter is on the softball team. So yeah, congratulations to all of them. We have certificates and we'll make sure that they get to their to get to the students so that they know how proud we are of all of them. Okay, next we have our high school. Oh no, sorry. Next, we're going to be moving on to our district retirees. Yay! Yes,
All
hi
right.
Curtis.
Hello, good evening. I get the pleasure of introducing our retirees that were able to come this evening. We're actually going to be bringing this item back. Bringing this item back at June 11th as well for the people who could not attend this evening. So we'll be doing this twice. So what we will do is play the presentation once it's actually done on a movie format for about a minute. Then we're going to do it again and pause at each one and bring up those that are here to recognize
You're in
it. So I'll
charge.
let it play.
Okay.
Okay, and if we want, is there a way to turn off the music when we go fast forward slides? Okay, so we'll go one at a time here and bring each one up that are in attendance if we can. Yeah. All right, Leslie Rivera, our dispatcher secretary for 21 years here at the district. I don't believe I saw Leslie in the audience, but I want to give Leslie a round of applause for being with her. I enjoyed working with Leslie always. She was also on the negotiating team for CSEA. So Leslie and I got to know each other pretty well for 2 years here. So
Wonderful.
thank you, Leslie. Next slide. All right, Mario Perez. Both Leslie and Mario left mid-year of this school year. So Mario is actually on vacation right now in retirement, so could not make it this evening, and hopefully we'll be able to make it on the 11th. But Mario was always amazing guy in the IT department, and I know Brianna got about a year with him before he left. So I want to thank Mario for all of his 7 years here for us. So thank you, Mario. Okay, Rufina Rivera de Ramos. She's at Echo Valley's a child nutrition assistant. I'm not sure if I've seen Rufina in the audience. I do not, but 17 years here with us in the district. So we want to thank Rufina. Right. All right, and Helica Fernandez Castillo. She is in the audience, so come on up. Thank you very much for all of your 24 years, and you haven't had a student join you today.
Yeah, actually 25, but.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Perfect. You still have to come tomorrow. Is that
Thank you.
okay?
No.
Yeah.
So much.
Do you have anything you want to say? This is your moment.
That's it.
Good.
Okay, you sure? Okay, it's your time. Okay, we want to thank you for your service.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Right. And next, also in the audience with us tonight, Lisa Dolet. 25 years, well, did you get that one right?
31 because I was at Prunedale
Oh,
back in the day.
wow.
So sorry.
That's okay.
Yikes, 31 years. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Amazing.
And I'm gonna miss the crap out of those kids and
Aw.
families. Will not miss testing. I will not
Yes,
miss it.
yes. You won't miss
I
that
will
stuff.
miss our beautiful, wonderful families and kids. It's gonna be a trying day.
Aw,
Thank you.
thank you for your service and dedication to our students. Yeah.
Maria Reynolds, teacher at Castroville. Is Maria in the audience? She is not. We'd like to thank her as well and be on a road show delivering these next week.
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you, Maria. Beth Roth. Is Beth in the audience? I have actually spoken to Beth numerous times, but never met her in person. She saved our bacon a couple years ago, taking on the art teacher position for us, coming out of retirement to do so. This
Wow.
is her second time retiring from us. So thank you, Beth.
You bet.
All right, Bob Veach. So 33 years with us, Echo Valley. Bob was also on negotiations for AFT for a number of years. So I got to know Bob pretty well over the last couple of years. So he's going to be missed at the school. So thank you, Bob. And I did not. Gigi Chabukas. All right, Gigi, 4 years with us. We are going to miss you. Not here. And but I will be delivering her plan to her. So I want to thank Gigi for all of her work with us here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Curtis. I'm going to give the board members an opportunity.
Oh,
And-
one more?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, can't forget Ida Ramirez.
Too much. Okay.
38 years with us and retiring from director. Right, and I think that might be the last one. Double check. Yes, all right. Well, thank you very much. Again, thank you very much for all of your service. Appreciate it and enjoy retirement.
Thank you, Curtis. I'm going to open it up for comments from our board members. Rick, you want to start?
Yes, just can't thank you enough for all the years dedicated, you know, with the district. So appreciated. My mom was here a long time and my sister's obviously here and you know, we love our staff and just we're gonna miss you and thank you so much.
Angela?
Yeah, I just want to say, I really appreciate this calling to serve. This is a very noble profession. I can't imagine your feelings because I only had a short, brief moment of being in a classroom for 2 years. And I saw one of my students today and just brightens my day. You've been here your entire career, so that's got to be exponentially larger than what I felt. And if I have those strong feelings at two, all your years of service needs to be admired. We need to put you on a pedestal. And let's be honest. I know it's kind of hard to say this, but how many times have I've heard teachers say this, that I'm only here because of the kids. Because a lot of times I get very angry with admin, staff, the way I'm treated. I don't want to be here anymore, but I can't leave my children. The love and respect and commitment to young children who are not even biologically yours, but you can love them as much as if they came from you, needs to be honored. Because as sad as it is, we know we ain't doing this for the money. You know, we know that you could probably do something with your degrees and make more, but you chose this calling to rear our future. And I'm glad that you had an opportunity to see them grow. It really touched my heart that with one of our students, we recognized that you were their elementary school teacher. What a powerful moment. So I hope that you, as you retire, you feel that sense of accomplishment, knowing that you're loved by so many generations. It's easy to forget what happens because I said we go on through the daily stuff, but these kids will remember you for the rest of your life. I still remember my first grade teacher's name, Mrs. Silverman. Thank you for all the impacts that you've done with our youth.
Very well said, Angelo. Yeah, I mean, teachers have a lasting impact on all their students. And thank you so much for being here. We love to see you. You're the people in the classroom that make the difference. You are the face of the district. You're the face to the family and to the students, and it is a calling. So many, your impact will long outlast you, right? Somebody will remember that moment, that you believed in them and, that you created a better future for them. So the teachers are the very best of our district, and we just want to say thank you for your years of service. We really do hope you enjoy the next chapter, the next adventure, and celebrate because you've earned it. Because being a teacher's hard work. It's really, really hard work, and we thank you. We really thank you. Matt?
Gosh, yeah, all of the above. Okay, being a teacher is really hard, but it is so worthwhile, right? We know it. We're here to make a difference, right? We're here because we think that it's the right thing to do, and we think that it can make a difference in real kids' lives, and that the work which we do as teachers actually helps the entire community. So thank you for everything that you do, the lives which you've touched so much. So thank you.
I'm hearing that there's someone here that we missed, Miss Bell.
Is there someone here we missed?
Here,
What, you weren't on the list, Miss Bell?
we were gonna bring her.
Okay. Curtis,
Yeah,
please bring Miss Bell up.
yes,
Please bring Miss Bell up. We
Come on up.
want to recognize Miss Bell.
definitely. You like one? Very nice.
Miss Bell, tell us about
Yes,
yourself
please.
and your service, since
I
we're not
am-
prepared.
I am at Elkhorn with these beautiful ladies.
Would you please come to the mic?
Oh,
We want the people out on Zoom
I'm
land to
better
hear you.
about that, Okay. I come from Elkhorn School Elementary. I've been there 28 years.
Yeah.
21
Wow.
as a yard supervisor.
Wow.
I volunteered the 7 first years with a kinder teacher that, in the interim of everything, I was, doing a lot of other stuff outside of our school.
Yeah.
In the community. I belong to the Grange, so I was the president for 25 years
Wow.
at the youth center there. And just have spread myself out doing other things. So for 7 years being at Elkhorn, I was also doing my other duties beyond that. So anyways, I've loved being at the school. We had a garden that I did, and I would have the kids with little field trips, and some of them would come and plant some seeds, and then they come and pick it and stuff like that. So that was really great. I decorate every holiday, and they let me leave the tree up. So I've decorated from Christmas on to Valentine's, St. Patrick's, and Easter. And now it's full of Mayflowers.
Yeah, I saw it on the stage. It's
Oh, that's-
beautiful. It was
Well, if it-
beautiful.
But beyond the boxes, you
I
would.
did see those
under-
boxes too, but the
Yeah.
tree drew my attention. So your
But
work
under-
drew my attention.
But
Yeah.
underneath the tree, there was also it's a gnome. It's
Oh,
a
I didn't see
gnome
that
mushroom.
The
Yeah,
box
you
was
wouldn't have
covered,
seen
but
it,
it was
but
beautiful.
it was covered.
Mhm.
Yeah, so.
They're
and
gonna
so I
miss you.
decorate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna miss that, but I always did the pumpkin patch for the kinders. When we had the pumpkin patch in the garden, then we moved it in front of the office in a little spot. So
Yeah.
I still did the pumpkin patch there for the kiddos, and I have told them that I will come
Mhm.
back. I'm gonna be
Aw.
around because this is my home. But I'll come and visit them, and when I do, then I can decorate if I'm available. But I do have someone that does the nest program who has offered to take over when I'm not around.
Wonderful, wonderful. You
Yeah,
mentored
so
it.
that will be good.
Well,
I
thank
love
you
it.
for your
And
service.
Talking about the
Yeah.
children, you do have an impact.
You absolutely.
You really have an impact on
really
all the
true.
students
Yeah.
that you are involved with.
Mhm.
And of course, they do with the teaching, and we are teachers too. I was
are.
explaining to one of our new yard supervisors, and I told her that we are student ambassadors.
Yep.
And that's what we should all look at ourselves.
Yeah.
We are representing our schools
Mhm.
and our whole district, our whole everything here. Because our little ones come here. This is where they end up. Then they go on
Yeah.
beyond. So for them to get into sports and all that kind of stuff is really awesome to do all that. Very encouraging. But anyways, I've loved being there. I miss it. It's been teary and emotional for me already for
Yeah.
a couple weeks because the kids keep coming and bringing me, they've drawn pictures or make little books. And so now they're passing them out to me every time they see me. They give me something.
Yeah, I saw on
So
the
it's a
playground where they
lovely-
were like giving you a salute or where they were cheering you on. I saw that on our social media. Good job.
Well,
Rebecca. Yes.
I belong to the American Legion here in Prunedale.
Yeah.
I had last Wednesday, the writers of the American Legion come and do a flag folding ceremony at our school. So they brought the flags, we did the flags, and I had all the things to go with it. And it's something that we should all have. This is what we need to keep on going and doing. I did this about 10 years ago as well. But I thought this was a good one for them to know because every fold has a meaning.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that we should all know about our flag. Sure.
Well, thank you, Miss Bell, for being here.
Right.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Hey, now we're going to ask our retirees to come up because we want your pictures on social media. Please come to the horseshoe of love. Please to the front. Yeah, sorry, you're going to have to do it. Yeah, come to the horseshoe. Let's go.
Thank you. Congratulations. People have heard.
Thank you again to all our retirees for their years of service and dedication to our district. We wish you all the very best in your next adventures. Okay, our next agenda item is college and career presentation. Woohoo! Celebrate!
All righty, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for having us. We're really excited to be here and be able to talk about the great work that this team has done and the celebrate our students and their next steps. And then also talk a little bit about what we have coming up for next year. So you go to the next slide. That's kind of what we're going to be doing. So we'll talk about our data. Our team will get some feedback from this year. We'll preview a little bit of our college and career readiness scope and sequence, and then some goals for next year. So I'll start off. I am Jordan Apgar. I'm the assistant principal that oversees counseling, academics, and college and career.
Hi, good evening. I am Karina Alvarez and I am the 5th counselor.
How many years have you been here?
It's my first year, but prior to that, I was here a few years back in a different role. Oh, and I'm an alumni.
Yay!
Good evening, Erica Garcia, academic counselor, community member, Condor alumni, and this is my 10th year here.
Wow, you don't even look.
Hi there, Jesus Galindo, high school counselor. I've had a few roles here. This is my 27th year here
Wow.
at Monterey County High School.
Very nice.
And I'm an alumni as well.
Class of 94.
I'm telling secrets over there, right?
Good evening. Thank you for
Good
having
evening.
us. I am Kathy Kroom, Condor alumni, Moss Landing alumni,
Wow.
and this is my 29th year.
Wow. Look at that. Is that a requirement, a prerequisite to join the group?
Right. My name is Lupe Sanchez. I've had the pleasure of serving this community for 31 years. Thank you. I'm not the oldest one in the group though.
I thought it was really important that they share really how long they've been here as well, right? Because it really just shows the expertise in this group and the care and the dedication to the work. So we can go to the next slide. This is just a real brief overview. I'll have the team kind of talk a little bit about it, but although this presentation itself focuses in on college and career, we did want to take a moment to really recognize the scope of the work of an academic counselor at North Monterey County High School.
So one of the main things we do is academic counseling, and that includes our 4-year plans, our A through G requirements, meeting with students, meeting with parents, and definitely working on college and career.
In terms of parent engagement, we'll continue to review different ways on how we engage with our students and families. But family engagement is central to student success, and we prioritize consistent communication and partnership. So one great thing about our counseling department is that we have an open door policy, and we welcome families to come and meet with us and really engage with us. We host several parent nights throughout the academic year. For our incoming 9th graders, we have a parent orientation, and we also contact our families for students to review their graduation status, their A through G status, and really to talk about their post-secondary plans as well. So we offer individual parent meetings aside from all of our workshops and our parent nights.
We're also the overseers, kind of like the site coordinators for our 504 plans. And that is ensuring equal access for students who need accommodations in order to be successful.
We're also key members of students' IEP teams as well. So as you all know, according to our WASC report, we have about 15% of students who are qualified for special education services. So we help advocate for our students during IEP meetings. On Wednesdays, we hold our IEPs, and Fridays, we have our overflow meetings. During those meetings, we really look at our students' disabilities, and we look at different ways that we can advocate for them and their needs, instructional needs. In addition to that, we take that as an opportunity to review their graduation status, their A through G status, and we also discuss post-secondary goals. So currently, our students who are on IEP plans have a college and career readiness goal, which has been a great change. And so that's a way for us to ensure. We currently have a work-based specialist who is amazing, Miss Evie. And so during these IEP meetings, we really have the opportunity to just confirm that students are receiving those services since we're currently offering, and we have received that grant as well. Sorry. I also wanted to add, it gives us an opportunity just to reconnect with families and make sure that they're aware of our NEST tutoring services during our IEP meetings as well.
We also do tier 1 behavior intervention. This is kind of a new hat we're wearing. We started working with our students who are having minor behavior incidents mid-year last year. We were helping out admin, and then we're continuing to do that this year. So minor discipline in the classroom, this would be like perhaps a student on a phone, minor disruptions. They'll see us first before they're kind of tiered up to admin. We want to work with them on positive behaviors, and this often is a conversation between the counselor and the student, and then generally we'll give a phone call home just to kind of keep parents abreast of what's happening. A little bit of data on the minor incidents. For our overall behavior incidents, minor discipline encompasses about 78%. There were as of May 5th, there were 672 minor incidents. And between the 5 of us, that's about 134 contacts, parent phone calls, just to kind of give you an idea of how we're spread sometimes and how we're spending our day.
Another area is college and career readiness. So we want to thank you all for your support. We know that we advocated to keep the 5th position, and we really, really appreciate your guys' support. Although we have really, really great data that we want to highlight in a few slides in terms of our senior class, we also don't want all to forget that previously we did have an entire dedicated college and career center that was equipped with computers and printers and scanners for students to be able to work on their college applications and their scholarship applications. But our college and career, we have really supported our students, and we continue to support them with college applications. We partner with local UC, CSUs, and we bring in admission reps based off of student interest. We also host numerous FAFSA completion workshops, and we'll talk more about FAFSA in a few slides. In addition to that, we bring in alumni guest speakers. And I know that this year we were really hoping to launch CCGI to really help our seniors with their college application process. It did take a little bit more work just because we didn't have that tool this year, but we hope in the near future we will have that tool available for our students. And in addition to that, we have really been the team to support our students who are going on our college field trips to really help that college awareness. And then also in terms of really aligning their post-secondary plans with their CTE pathways here at the high school and being more intentional. We've been supporting field trips as well. So again, I can go on and on, but we'll continue to talk about college and career in a bit. Sorry.
We're also generally the first contact for social emotional support. So we'll get referrals from teachers. Oftentimes students will just walk in, or we'll get parents who are in need of support. So we'll do some individual counseling, some group counseling. Oftentimes we're connecting our students and families with community resources or our own resources on site, such as the wellness center, our mental health therapists, our school psychologists.
And we also get the pleasure of serving on the cost team. So our cost team meets bi-weekly. And as you are all aware, typically there's 3 different tiers of students. So tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. So we really work with our cost team to identify those students who need more service and make sure that we're exhausting all of our resources available for our students. So we meet to discuss the progress, and we monitor the progress of our tier 2 and tier 3 students. And it's really nice because it gives us an opportunity to really collaborate and connect, and making sure that we're really supporting our students to the best of our ability. And oftentimes as counselors, we are the primary ones who will submit that initial the request for intervention. And we really connect with teachers and other staff members to make sure that students who maybe haven't been identified yet and are not on those lists of tier 2, tier 3, to get them on the list and get them the services that they deserve.
And additionally, we serve on our SART team for attendance. We meet bi-weekly. We discuss, this year we're focusing on students who are kind of in the middle, trying to keep them from going up to tier 2. This often involves home visits. So if we have a student not showing up, we'll partner up and go to the home, see if we can, meet with parent or talk to the student in hopes of increasing their attendance.
Thank you. Next slide. So here I'm going to talk about this school year and how the team supported our future generations and building their futures by engaging a total of 2,745 meaningful interactions that were informative, encouraging, and empowered them with learning the 4-year college education process. We did 24 workshops, 12 college presentations were provided in regards to the opportunities after high school, 2 field trips to inspire and expand their future possibilities, as well as an overall of 473 4-year college applications were submitted by our 2026 graduating class. Go ahead and go to the next slide. Thank you. Moreover, a breakdown of our acceptance to our class of 2026 was 16 acceptances to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, 78% of admission rate to our local UCSC with 22 acceptances. 2 of our students received a Sabat scholarship out of 50 awarded to the incoming freshman cohort at UCSC, and 1 full ride to Notre Dame through the Quest Bridge. 100% admission was for our CSUMB, and lastly, 91% of our 2026 grads were admitted to at least one of their 4-year universities that they applied to.
Yeah. Slide. Yeah, okay, so what does the class have planned for after graduation? So about 70% of our students are attending 2- and 4-year schools. So that's a really good rate. About 60% of our students will either be going into the workforce or they're going to be going to a trade school. We had about 90% of our seniors fill out the survey, so we got a good representation of that. Next slide.
I think this data really shows some really great success and also some really amazing opportunities. So when we're talking about the students and their next steps, I want to give a context of where our overall cohort's at. So we had 248 students this year. Kind of that big first opportunity is our A through G rate. Right. So coming into senior year, we had 45.5%, so about 113 students who were eligible to apply to a 4-year school. Right. Of those students, 85% completed a 4-year application. Of that percentage, 91% got accepted. Right. So those percentages are really great and really strong. But we have a really good opportunity there to increase our A through G eligibility. So I think the new graduation requirements are going to be a really good step in that direction. The implementation of CGGI is going to really help our team, but just really kind of keeping that as a focus. And then we also have a really good opportunity gap here in the percentage of students who got accepted to a 4-year school, but decided to go to a 2-year. So really digging into that data and talking a little bit, and we'll talk a little bit more of that in an upcoming slide.
Yeah, so our 4-year decisions, as you can see, our top CSUs were California State University, Monterey Bay, and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Our UC was UC Davis and UC Santa Cruz. And as we stated earlier, we had a couple kids that are going to UCLA, USC, and I know you guys have heard of our boy Jose Gomez Maqueda, who got a full ride scholarship to the University of Notre Dame through the Quest Bridge match. Next slide. And so here we have the 2-year college data. The top 2 community college are obviously our 2 local colleges, Hartnell and MPC. We have seen an increase in Cabrillo College. Cabrillo College does have a few programs like the dental hygiene program, the radiology program, and we also have another student who wants to play basketball at Cabrillo College. So we have an uptick. So it'd be interesting to see if Cabrillo College continues to increase in numbers as we go through. And why are the students, choosing community college over 4-year schools? Most of it had to do with they want to complete their GEs and then they want to transfer. And the other one is they want to either stay close to home or, they want to save some money. It's the money issue when it comes to staying locally and then transferring to a 4-year school.
No, you keep going. Keep going. We want to hear what you have to say. We make Brianna do that. She doesn't want to do it. We make her do it.
All right. So in terms of money, here we wanted to highlight our FAFSA CADA application. So this is for our senior class. You will see here on the slide, it indicates that approximately 80.3% of our seniors have completed their FAFSA or CADA applications by the priority deadline of March 2nd. And in order, the application priority deadline is March 2nd. By submitting these applications, students may qualify for grants, scholarships, work-based study opportunities, and student loans. Completing the FAFSA or CADA also opens the door to many institutional and state-based financial aid programs. So as we know currently, if a student attends a California community college, the first 2 years are completely free so long as they complete their FAFSA CADA application. In addition to that, if students are forebound, if they're going off to a four-year university, you did see on the previous slide that some of our students have received a full ride scholarship, and they're able to qualify, of course, based off of their hard work and their grades and extracurricular activities, but they would not be able to receive that without submitting a FAFSA application. As a team, we hosted 5 in-class workshops, 4 after-school financial aid office hours, and 6 financial aid student and parent workshops in the evenings. And you will see also we currently have about 15.6% of applications that are still in progress. And that might be for a variety of reasons. It may be that parents are following up on tax forms. Maybe they haven't filed their taxes. So we're still working with them, and hopefully those students will still file. And lastly, you'll see that we do have 4.1% of students who have opted out. Although we encourage all of our seniors to submit an application and we provide the guidance, we still do have some students that decide to opt out. And what we do is we meet with those families individually just to re-explain all the benefits of submitting the application. And we really work hard to make sure that the families understand what it means to opt out, and they sign an opt-out form as well.
So, our leader Jordan did an amazing job with, creating a senior survey because we wanted feedback from our seniors. We asked them all kinds of questions, where they're going, what their plans are. And we also asked them about the FAFSA. We wanted to know, if they didn't apply, what was the main reason, keeping them from applying? We have some students, who say, there's about approximately 13 students, that are still working on it. I have one of those, and it's a tax issue, definitely working with dad. But for various reasons, they're still working on it. We've had some submit, any inconsistency with a birth date, a street address, the CSAC will kick it back, and then there's a process to go through. So we're hoping to even improve beyond 80%, which, by the way, is a little bit better than last year. So we're proud of that, because we took that on this year, and we were nervous about that. We were a little nervous about that. Waiting on parent portion, it's about 2 students. I don't qualify. Some students said that.
Yeah.
And then 6 declined to answer that question. But our goal is to get as close to 100% as possible. So we're going to continue doing everything we can to make that happen. Next slide.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little glows, grows, and capacity. We're almost done. Please be patient with us. We're getting there. So one of the glows is that, as Erica had mentioned earlier, we had a college and career counselor with 2 support staffs. And then we had the 4 counselors, and now we have just the 5 counselors. So there's no college and career. We are the college and career, along with academic counseling and all the other things that we do on a daily basis. So we have a really strong team collaboration when it comes to college apps, FAFSA, PIQs, whatever it may be. And then, as we have talked earlier, 80% of our kids have filled out the FAFSA and the CADA applications, which is a great number. Another really good thing that happened this year is we found out that the college application day was extremely helpful for our students. So we're going to continue to do that and build upon that. And then the one thing that's not on there, obviously, was last Wednesday was our scholarship banquet night. I know a few of our board members are here tonight, and that continues to be a really big thing for our kids in our community.
Yeah, so with that being said, we also have some growths, and one of them would be to strengthen the A through G eligibility earlier with our younger students. Earlier, as like freshman year, just understanding what classes to take, what route to go, and then just having them understand a little bit more about like what is their post-secondary options. Along with that is improving the systems of intervention and follow-up, whether that may be academic or social emotional. And as we know, the Wellness Center is new to us, so kind of developing that as well, because it does go hand in hand with the academic and just learning more about themselves and what they can do here at site and resources. And then improving the equity to ensure all students receive the guidance that they need. And that's just, whether it's going to be a student with an IEP, a 504, or just, understanding more about what is being offered to them and their families and how we can continue to expand that. And then lastly, the financial knowledge for both students and families. I think that as a team, we also just learned a lot this year with like some of those students that didn't answer why they didn't complete it or not, just also with so much things going on in our society, just being scared and diminishing a lot of that. And then understanding just, like the team has displayed tonight of, what they gained from that.
Moving forward, there's a lot of great success. This team, I'm very proud of them. We have each other's back, priorities, always students and family. So I'm proud of you guys. This does come at a cost. Okay. We have increased workload, less staffing, right? We lost those 3 people who were certainly dedicated to some aspect of that. We need to work on our 9/11 college and career fair. We need a really robust that or add to it, bring in maybe some industry leaders, get as much schools as you can, so we can expose our kids to that. Further reduction in force directly reduces access, equity, and post-secondary opportunities. Okay, and basically what I want to say with this girl is, a couple of weeks ago, I personally held my data. I compared my data of academic intervention contacts. Those kids that are failing, right? I had 48 less contacts this year because I've got stuff going on. 48. Our summer school numbers are through the roof. I got 8 sheets here, 332 classes that need to be made up, divided amongst 151 students. I think that's not a bad number, right? This is freshmen alone. Freshmen alone. Those are the kids that are taking on those new requirements. Remember that, right? And then as far as the FAFSA go, I mean, we worked our butt off for that. We did. And the fact that, we didn't wind up, compared to other schools way up there, because they have people who dedicate themselves to this. There are schools in Salinas that are twice our size that beat us because they have college and career people doing that work. So, thank you.
Thank you. Is that?
Next slide, please.
Oh, there, okay.
Yeah, sorry. I know we're almost done. So this one's another one. But I think this again kind of goes back to that. How are we really addressing our college and career readiness for I think we gave a lot of real effort and really supported our 12th grade, and that work can't start 12th grade. It really needs to be a 9 through 12 and really middle school and elementary school, but in our sphere of control, 9 through 12. So this is just, I'm not going to go over this slide. Y'all can read it. There's a lot in there, but just really kind of thinking about our scope and sequence and advisory. So for those who are not aware, our advisory program meets on Mondays for 30 minutes. There's been kind of some back and forth here around the purpose of advisory and really utilizing that time effectively. And college and career readiness is the perfect avenue for that space and that time. And so really focusing in our 9th grade around student self-knowledge, high school readiness, but starting to explore and connect interest to career. They deepen that work in 10th grade, starting to build those skills and really get ready so that they see that the career that they're interested in pursuing, what are the various paths they can take to get to that career? Because college is great, but that's not the end goal, right? The end goal is really the career and the passion and doing something in your life that you find fulfillment in. And maybe that requires a 4-year degree, maybe it doesn't. But students need to have kind of that end goal in mind in order to then find what are the different ways what do I need to do to get there? So that kind of starts 9th and 10th, and then 11th grade, they're starting to put that all into practice, right? That's the prep year. It's super heavy, right? That's when you start to lock in your GPA, really make sure you're A through G eligible, and then start mapping out those different plans and getting prep for senior year. Just as a little anecdote, there was a senior who started the application process, opened up his portal and was like, okay, now what? I'm like, okay, well, where's your college list? And what do you want to do? And it's like, I don't know. right? So it's like, we shouldn't be in that position where we have seniors kind of ready to apply, they're ready to go, but they haven't done the prep work. So really kind of backwards mapping that. And giving our students as much tools as possible before their senior year. So that's kind of the scope and sequence there.
Next slide, please.
That's just some goals for next year. We're looking forward to really implementing that CCGI. I think that will definitely help us, move in a positive direction. Create and implement 9 to 12 college and career readiness, scope and sequence through advisory programs. Add more college field trips. There's a lot of our kids that never make it on the campus, and we'd really like to do that. It really, I was lucky to go to a couple of them, and these kids, it just, it's spark. Engage and empower families. Okay, we got to keep bringing in our families. We are the hub of this community. Okay. Continue to be in collaboration with the college partners. Okay, now we're going to really have to focus or depend on them a little bit more with their assistance. Continue to build opportunities to showcase community college trade vocational programs. Not 100% of our students go to a 4-year. Okay, a lot of them go off and they go into a trade and the military and they have great lives. Right? I mean, we'll do that. And then we want to definitely move away from the coordinator, which is, when Rick was back in school, the coordinator was the kind of the discipline office. Now we want to go a bit into the college career and life center. Okay, thank you very much.
Next slide. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Yay. They might have questions.
Well, first I want to thank you. That was a we've been looking forward to this, and so that was a very informative and well-organized presentation. So thank you for the preparation time. I know this takes time to prepare presentations for the board and to collect that data. So we want to thank you. So first we're going to open it up to public comment from the public. Is there anyone in the library that would like to make a public comment? If so, please step up to the podium. Seeing none, we will go to Zoom. Is there anyone on Zoom? Brianna? No? Okay. We're going to be closing public comment, and then we're going to start with you, Angelo.
Yeah, because I have a lot to say. Really, well, can we get Ms. Epgar?
Yes,
Because
yeah.
I want to talk to you about your team.
Yeah.
I've had the pleasure of working with your team, and there's something that we're saying a lot of stuff you do, but there's something that we missed that we didn't talk about what you guys also do. You help out your peers with professional development. I can speak from personal experience being here as a new teacher. I started the year we came back from COVID. It was absolute chaos. This is actually the truth. They just gave me a key, a classroom, ominous. You're teaching math. The amount of work that the counselors at our school has done to help me when I was a brand new teacher to learn the ropes, how to deal with students was insurmountable. They took time out of their busy day to explain stuff. I could see in their frustration, it's a chaos from the COVID with the class changes, everything, but you still worked with me. I'm just a brand new teacher. Who am I to you guys? You don't know me, but this was throughout all the team. They worked with, I asked for help with, at that time, through high school administration. I got no help. But you know who helped me? Was our counselors. I had Mr. Sanchez. He helped me out with one that I think about this day where he guided me with professional development. I had one student first week, threw up the middle finger, F you, but he said it the full way. I tried to ask for support through high school administration. I met none. Then Heather Tyne says, well, have you spoken to his counselor? I never thought about that. No one ever told me you could do that. Lupe helped guide me on how to, and we found out that the student had some needs, tier 2, borderline tier 3 support needs, how to work with them. And what really blew me away was he didn't have to guide me the way he did, but he really kind of held my hand to the point where the student who was so angry apologized. He wanted me to move his request on mine. He wanted me to put his desk right next to my teacher's desk. On breaks, he would have lunch in my classroom because he felt safe. I didn't have that guidance with training staff, but your counselors, on top of taking care of student needs, were helping out new teachers. And I'm not the only one. that I've received help from you guys. I really want to acknowledge the work you guys do with teachers. The amount of times that you all pulled me in to kind of guide me, you know, it really meant a lot to me because I was drowning. And I could always knew I could come into that office and any one of you guys that were there could talk to me and help me out. Because a lot of places I didn't feel I was going to get help. I really hope you guys know it's more than just helping out students. You're helping out your peers because they're all credentialed teachers. You've been there. You already walked that walk. Thank you for what you did. You really need to be acknowledged for that. I'm still learning on the board, but I want to say that I hear you guys. I'm sorry I haven't done more. I will do my best to listen to your guys' recommendations because as you guided me back then, you're guiding me now. Please continue to reach out to us, reach out to me. I value your guys' expertise, the time and service, and the extra stuff that you put into not just our students, but also with your peers so they can help out our students. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've done. You have an amazing team, and you can tell too. You can tell leadership or with the team when you go in their office. Everybody jovial. I was jealous. They would be one of the best team Halloween dress.
Yeah.
But that I know it sounds funny, but that says something. That shows that we have a teamwork. We have a group here. The fact that you can collaborate on a costume just says that's what's the work relationship here. It's deeper than just a costume because you see every other department. You can see what departments were in disarray. I was in the math department. We were in disarray, but you can see the unit cohesion. You guys are an amazing team. I just thank you so much for everything you do, and please keep talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Rick?
Oh yeah, just thank you so much work that you do with the kids and so appreciated. I did have a question on I think it was the FAFSA. It said all the pie chart. What were some of the reasons of the 5.5% of other why they, or no, it was the plan after graduation, trade, school. What's the other things that maybe they said they might want to
No,
do?
that's a great question, Rick. The others, so I have a couple of kids that want to attend barber school and beauty school. And so, you know, it can go under the trades, but we had put it under the other. And then other is also related to some kids are still debating about whether they want to go to a 2-year school, just straight off to like UTI, which is just a trade school, or they're debating about whether they want to go to the workforce, save some money, and then go back to school.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. How much are applications to colleges? Around 70?
Yeah, they're $70. They're $70, yeah. And some kids actually qualify for free. Some of the students do get like through like free and reduced lunch. You can put that on there and they can get their application waived. I know this is a little bit different, but we also have like the SAT fee waiver, which we can use for some of our students as well. So some of the students do get them waived, but they're $70. So if a kid's applying to a CSU, they're applying to 3 of them, right? They got to pay what 70 times 3, what 210? Is that right? I'm on yeah, something like that. So 200. Yeah, right. I was right. Okay.
And just to add to that, we didn't want kids to not be able to apply due to financial need. So we did work with Patrick. He's still here. We did work with Patrick, and he made arrangements that we would pay for their application. So no student did not apply because of of finances. I know Jordan put several on her credit card just when we were trying to figure out who's going to pay for what. So
CSUMB also with their CSU, they gave us some free ones if you emailed them as well.
yes, our rep from CSUMB, we've started to have a great relationship with CSUMB. Our rep Amelia said, hey, email me and I will make sure that they I'll waive the application fee. And you said UCSC as well?
Yeah, and then as we started to build more rapport with more of the institutions, it was just gathering like that follow-up email to different schools. And I know that for sure we had CSUMB and UCSC that as long as we supported the students with writing and following up on those application waivers, they were able to get them.
That's awesome. Thank you. And then as a parent, have the first kid going through and, you don't know the resources and like, kind of like, so you finally learn. And now I'm like, I have the second, student coming. I'm like, okay, now I know what to do. Now I know what to ask. Now and what she needs to ask it and what she wants to do with their goals. So, for that, I appreciate it. I learned some stuff. My first, had a lot of anxiety issues and mental health and it worked. The 504 and all the people that were involved, it worked. And it's nothing like it was before. So I thank you for that and for all the other kids that you guys helped. It means the world to be able to function because of what you're thinking or feeling mentally. But as far as the made up classes, the opposite kind of like I hear from parents that their kids could do more or want to do more harder classes or do classes e- either in the summer or in eighth grade for they don't have to do it in high school. So I would like to see that. I mentioned it like a few other times. I don't know if we could work that out in the future as a governance team.
Sorry, we just also, thank you for bringing that up. We didn't include it this evening. And so currently for the summer, we've been supporting students. Last week, we had Hartnell here and we had a workshop to help students register for summer courses, which are free. So we are going to offer what's called Summer Academy, and we're partnering with Hartnell, and our students will actually receive free transportation from here daily. Yes, and it's going to start on June the 8th. Great. And they have, yes, and breakfast and lunch will be provided. And they have different courses that they can choose from. And those courses are general education courses that are transferable to four-year colleges as well. And in addition to that, it'll be cohort based. So there's also all the local high schools are participating as well. So our students are going to be able to meet and really form study groups with all local high school students as well, which is awesome. And they're also going to receive college workshops as well. So start prepping for post-secondary plans as well. In addition to that, I know with our new Hartnell Castroville campus, they're offering a psychology class. So we've been helping students register for that course there in addition to others. And then there's a new 3 sections of an online asynchronous photography class that we've been helping students with. So actually this is, there's a lot of great opportunities for summer courses right now.
Amazing.
Yeah, and statistics.
So glad to hear. And you guys mentioned partnerships and the fair and yeah, definitely needed. I see, I browse other districts on social media and check out meetings and stuff and definitely I know some of the staff's hard at work going to meetings at unions and stuff like that. So hopefully we are on the right track. So I'm glad you guys mentioned it, and I'm glad the public is hearing. And then the last thing is just our motto says that we want to send our kids college and career and life ready. And if that's the most important thing for our high schoolers, then we definitely need the people in place for that. So I'll be like my colleague had said, we'll be working on it and I'm gonna bring it up. So thank you for all you do and thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Wow, 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 wow. I mean, I think you guys really gave us a lot to think about. If you want to be a better district, sometimes you're going to try things. Some things are going to work out really well. Other things you're going to say, we need to tweak it. I think our district has made really, really good progress in a lot of different areas. Credit goes to your leadership and the amazing people that make it happen. I want to thank you for working with us through the restructure. I know anytime somebody restructures or changes your job or says, now you need to do this, it's hard. It's a challenge accepting change. So I want to, first of all, thank you and congratulate you for that. As both Angelo and Rick have said, you've given us a lot of different things to think about. because we do want to structure a program that is reaching as many students as possible. And we know people have finite capacities. You know, there's only so much we can ask you to do, yet we want really good results for our students. So what Matt joined the district saying was we were going to look at data and we're going to Dr. Turkey. We're going to look at data and then we're going to let data make decisions. So if we have students' needs that aren't being met or more students are failing, then maybe we need resources. Or, you know, Erica mentioned scanners and a dedicated space. So maybe we need a dedicated space. Whatever it is, we really appreciate your feedback because if we don't know about it, we can't do something about it. And the same goes for Matt. You know, we all are trying to do the best we can. We want to seem competent to our managers. So sometimes we don't cry for help when there's a problem or there's a need, but we need to hear what's not working so that we can tweak it. We can tweak it. We can be better. That's how we grow as an organization. We have limited resources, so we constantly have to reevaluate what's going to get us the greatest results. Right? We're dealing with finite resources. But I do want to applaud you for the preparation of this presentation. It's been very informative and for the work you're doing because you're getting results in spite of a different structure, in spite of, you know, limited resources. So thank you to all of you. And yeah, thank you sincerely. Matt, do you have something you want to say?
Yeah, there's a few notes I'd like to hit as well. So
Wonderful.
First of all, I'm looking at the slide with the 4-year college data, right? And I'm looking at the A through G rate of 45.5%. And obviously, you know, we want our kids to have choices, right? I am not here saying that a 4-year or a 2-year or the military or the trades or one is better than the other. But I am saying I want every single one of our kids to have the choice of which one of those they would like, right? One of the keys to that choice is the A through G rate, right? Now, I know that you mentioned that as a grow, and part of what you mentioned was raising that earlier in the student's high school career so they're aware of it, right? And yes, CCGI will absolutely help with that, right? But I also, though, want to applaud you and the team, though. 45.5% is higher than we were last year, which is at 37%.
Wow.
Right? So, I mean, so kudos to the team for that, right? And I want to link that again with some of the grows and the glows. The glows here, transitioning from a split model to a fully integrated counseling team, really nice job, right?
Yep.
And I know to your point around transitions, and I hear the frustration, right? And you can bring the frustration here. It's okay to say, hey, we're frustrated with this, and this is the way which we see things, and you're being heard. Okay. We will use best practice. We will use the ASCA model of how we move forward, right? And you're doing that, right? You're doing that. And I want to applaud you for a really nice job of the things which you're doing. And we see them in the data. Okay, so thank you. And we also hear the frustrations, right? And then we'll need to think about, okay, well, how do we work through those things and give you the tools that you need? Okay, so thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you very much. Matt, can you inform me to what CCGI is? Because I don't know what it is.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we'll make him do it. We'll make him. Okay, all right. Yeah, go home. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you all.
Brianna, could you go to slide 14?
Do
I
you
mean, I
wanna
can,
answer?
I can start, but you
yeah.
can pipe in if you'd like. So, I'm pretty aware of this. It's
Yeah.
called the California Colleges Guidance Initiative,
Okay.
right? And it does several things. It actually starts at 6th grade and goes through 12th grade,
Yeah.
right? Our aim, though, is of course to have it here at the high school and then push down into the middle school before pushing down into 6th grade. Before turning it on, you actually have to work out all of your course codes, because what it
Okay.
does is it will look at what the kids are taking and it will look at what I'm doing and it will say, okay, Matt, you're in 9th grade and you are currently on track to be A through G and you're on track for graduation. Or you're in 10th grade and you're one course off. this is the course which it is, and it will identify it for you, right? And you can pull all of those data. However, that only works if we have clean course codes,
Okay.
right? And we have not had, how many course codes did we have? We had 2,000 course codes. And then you think to yourself, why on earth do you have 2,000 course codes? You
Thinking
can't possibly teach that many courses. And of course we don't. And the course codes have to match, right? They have to be in sync with what you actually have in kind of like UC doorways and all sorts of things. There's so much data to clean up that until that data's clean, if you plug in CCGI and go with it, it will give the kids false data. It will give parents false data. So this year has been the year of cleanup before we can actually sync it with Synergy, right? So that then it will give students and parents actual accurate data on their 6-year or their 4-year pathway through high school, right?
So that's been the holdup.
That
The
has
data
been
is a mess.
exact.
You're right
Oh.
here. On the precipice, as they say. Okay. And will that lighten the load for the counselors with having to define?
There's quite a few, yeah. So I think there, it's a tool. So on kind of
Okay.
two ends. So from a proactive standpoint, the reports are amazing, right? So we can literally pull a report and say this many kids are short this A through G requirement, or they're like on the cusp, and we can do more kind of more tier 2 intervention where we can pull some groups and it's a little bit more efficient and effective versus all the one-on-ones. Right now, like if you walk into the counseling office and they're going through like an A through G analysis, they got stacks of transcripts
right.
and literally going line by line doing that.
That seems very time consuming. That seems very, oh, wow. Okay. They're angry, Brianna. They want their codes.
Top of my
They
hands.
want the codes and they're not going to take it anymore. No, just kidding.
And so like I think that part of the work, like on the data side of things, is going to be really helpful and just making
Okay.
that piece more efficient. That said, there's still a lot of like the human connection, obviously, with counseling and our work. Once students are also in there, the reason why it's a California initiative is because all of the California colleges have access to that data. And so students will automatically get a notice saying, hey, all you got to do, click this button and you're automatically in, because the California colleges will have their information and know that they've met all the requirements already. So it also makes the California application process, the college application process, more quicker, and ideally more students would then be applying because they see that they already are getting accepted or they meet the requirements.
And I'll add on as well, they also have a student-facing end of it where they have college and career preparation lessons. So what you see on, could you go to slide, I think it's slide 14, Brianna? The scope and sequence there. Oh,
It's like the second to last one, I think.
it's
Or that one.
yeah, go back. So this where it says what kids would be able to do in 9th grade, 10th grade, or 11th grade. CCGI can actually power a lot of that. So there are things like career matches. So you go through an interest survey and it will say, oh, you, due to what your interests are and what you're good at, you could easily go into this career or that career. And then you track back from, okay, well, that's the career I want. What's my pathway from 9th grade all the way to that career? And then what is it that I need to do? And so on and so forth, right? And so CCGI runs a lot of this.
Okay, wonderful.
Already.
So we're late to the party. We're late to the party.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we were all supposed to be up and running. January 2026 was the state deadline. So
yeah,
we're almost there.
And you can launch your college applications on this as well.
Yeah.
So it makes everything easier, but we just have to clean the data.
Yes. Almost there. Brianna's been doing amazing work getting that all cleaned up. So
Well, thank you. Thank you, Brianna.
Yeah.
Yes, you can go now. I'm really done. Okay,
Thanks,
thank you so
everybody.
much. Thank you. Okay, well, that was very stimulating. I love it. Okay, so early literacy board presentation. Yay! Reading is fundamental. I still remember that campaign. That's really okay. Hi, welcome.
see if it still works after it got.
Yeah, I know. After the fall. Goodbye, Miss Bell. Thank you again for your service and being here. Congratulations on your retirement.
doing that. I know that we do Girls Day, Boys Day.
Okay.
They come here, so they take their students for Girls Day. But that is, that, that's always been something that we can add to the school. And I think we should.
Wonderful.
I just have to verify.
Wonderful.
No,
They'll be okay.
no.
I just want to verify American Legion 593. I'll see you there.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. Thank you. Thank you again. Thanks for your patience. Please proceed.
Okay, good evening. So good evening, board members, Superintendent Turkey and Cabinet. I'm Kimberly McCulloch, Director of Teaching and Learning, and I'm joined here tonight.
I am Cheryl Dorsey, MTSS TOSA at Prunedale Elementary.
Wonderful.
And tonight we're excited to share with you our journey this year in developing early literacy programs. You got to see where our students are going in college and career readiness and how do we get them there. It starts with early literacy and being able to read and being able to write to prepare them for college and careers. So we wanted to start with this quote that 95% of students can learn to read. And more as research comes out aligned with the science of reading and how we train our students to read and how the brain works, the research is showing that they can, and it's really important to provide those early interventions, strong first-time instruction, so that our students are able to get to their college and career aspirations. So how do we use this data to strengthen our Tier 1 core instruction and Tier 2 interventions, and what does that look like? We're going to be speaking about this tonight. So starting off, this year started off with a change in state requirements due to Ed Code 53008, which now requires school districts to select and implement an annual reading screener. So last year we had an amazing team led by Ms. Pertak, and they went through different screeners and selected which screener are we going to use in North Monterey County to assess our students in grades K-2 to see where they're at. And so last year, the team selected the UCSF Multitudes Reading Screener, and Ms. Dorsey is going to tell us a little bit about this screener.
I am thrilled to be here to speak about this particular topic, reading difficulties. It's very close to my heart. I'm the daughter and a mother of a dyslexic reader. And so the decision by California and North Monterey County to screen every K-2 student for reading difficulties is a big deal. Multitudes, our universal screener, identifies early indicators of reading difficulties, then identifies supports for instruction and targeted interventions. These supports and interventions can course correct the reading difficulties of many students. It only takes 5 to 15 minutes per student, and students can be screened in more than one language. In contrast, diagnostic tests pinpoint specific deep learning deficits that are used for further diagnosis only if early concerns do not resolve. Diagnostics may be reserved for specific students requiring escalation and are a longer, more intensive test. By utilizing this screener, we're able to quickly see who may be at risk of a future reading difficulty and begin the work of eliminating or minimizing that risk. Looking at the annual assessment and compliance timeline, you can see that our first milestone is screening our first and second graders. The screener measures decoding, language, vocabulary, and rapid automatized naming. Our second milestone is the kindergarten screening window. Their screener is similar, but assesses phonological awareness rather than decoding. There's then a 45 calendar day compliance rule for mandatory parent notification, in which results must be reviewed and then made available to parents. This year, we worked to create transparent family communication. There were custom letters that were created to explain Multitudes results in plain language. The school sites shared these results during parent conferences to ensure that the data could be discussed collaboratively TOSAs also met with teachers before conferences to coach them in reading and making meaning of the multitude's results, as well as next steps within the classroom.
And before I go on, I just want to give a huge shout out to our MTSS TOSAs and our MTSS assistants and our ELSA's support. This was all brand new. And so coming in August, we're like, okay, we have this screener that we have to give per the state. What does it look like? How do we administer it? How do we notify parents? There's all these compliance pieces that we have to do, but there was no system that had been built yet. And so this amazing group of leaders worked as a team. They trained each other. They learned how to administer the test. They trained the TOSAs, trained the assistants. They went into the classroom and worked with the students and screened all our K to second graders. So this was a huge learning curve and a huge accomplishment from the team that I just want to publicly thank them for and call out the great work that they did. So now we know the results that we got back from the screening, but knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. If we know that our students are struggling in a specific area of early literacy, how do we intervene and what are the interventions that we can do to help them close that gap so that they can become fluent readers and they can achieve their success in their career goals? So one of the things that the team did, so Ms. Dorsey talked about the difference between a diagnostic and the screener. So we had the multitude screeners, which identified students that were on track and on, where they should be and students that were at risk. Then the teams also went in and did some more diagnostic assessments. Through some of them, we had different ones administered at different sites. One was the core phonics, one was BPST, but they were diagnostics that went deeper into what were the areas that students were struggling with. So in addition to the multitude screeners, we did other reading diagnostics to really look at what are the areas for intervention. And so with this, the TOSAs also trained our MTSS assistants and ELSAs, and many of our staff and our teachers also administered this with their students to find out where the gaps were with student skills and then do targeted interventions. One of the intervention programs that we use this year is the University of Florida UFly Reading Literacy Intervention that focuses on phonics. So I want to bring us back to Dr. Turkey's famous arrow and the boxes. And so I know this was the vision going into this year of looking at core classroom instruction and how do we support teachers. We have our TOSAs supporting the teachers. We have the MTS assistants coming in the class and supporting with reading intervention. And this system really started to form this year. Still a work in progress. We're still building pieces of the system. But through finding where the students were struggling, through finding the correct intervention, and through going into the classroom and working with small groups, we're starting to see growth in our early literacy. So I wanted to share one of the school sites, and this was the 8-week intervention cycle that they developed this year. So they started off giving the basic skills phonic assessment test, BPST. They created small intervention groups of 3 to 4 students. Then the MTSS assistants pushed into the classroom and did the UFly mini lessons focusing on the phonics. And then after that 8 weeks, they did an 8-week cycle. They monitored the data to see the student progress. Is it working? Did we close those early gaps that we needed? Or are further interventions needed? And so then the students that need further interventions, they went to the tier 2 team. And that was where it became a request for assistance. So they saw these students moved out, the gap was closed. These students need further support and we need to dig deeper. What is it? Is it attendance? Are there other areas, social emotional areas that need support outside of the phonics? So we also included this quote from Ruth Bader Ginsburg: reading is the key that opens doors to many good things in life. Reading shaped my dreams and more reading helped me make my dreams come true. This year 1 on early literacy was all about building the foundations. We implemented the multitude screeners and we created transparent family communication tools. We also realized as a team that multiple school sites were using different diagnostic assessments. And we said, okay, we want a systematic process used throughout the district where we're all using the same assessment and we can monitor and track the same data. So our amazing TOSA team worked together, they shared what they're using, and we came up with a process that we want to implement next year. We began to build that system for foundational reading and literacy across the district. We also attended a letters for admin training because it needs to start with looking at leadership and how does that system built. And so this was on Saturdays. So I got a do a big shout out to Miss Dorsey. We had Mr. Hassan, Sammy, Karen Sosa, Miss Clayton, Mr. Oscar Valdez from Elkhorn, and myself attended on Saturdays. Our last one is this Saturday to really look at how do you lead. Who am I leading?
I said, oh, we almost made it.
Yes, almost there. How do you build that system? And there's different levels, and it's going to be a process. It's going to probably take 3 to 5 years to really create that system that's going to be strong, that's rooted in strong foundations of assessment, of diagnostic, and of knowing which interventions to do based on the data that it shows us. So one of the biggest things that stood out to us in this training is that prevention and early on prevention instead of late on intervention. And this data just stood out so much to me, so I wanted to share it with you, that in kindergarten, when we notice these early literacy skill gaps, all it takes is 15 to 30 minutes a day of intervention to close those gaps and get students back on track. If we wait until 3rd grade, it takes 90 minutes to 3 hours a day. We don't have that time. There's not enough time for even core instruction enough time. There's not 3 hours of time for intervention. So it is imperative that we as a district work to support our teachers, to support our students, to have those early interventions. So what is our year 2? So year 2, we're continuing to start framing the structure. We're laying the foundation. Now we're starting to build up. Thank you, board, for approving the contract with the California Reading Literature Project. That is going to allow us to provide professional development for all of our teachers in TK to 6th grade on science of reading, on the reading diagnostic screeners, and how to use those screeners to provide early on interventions in both Tier 1 and Tier 2. We're looking at a common system of reading assessments that we want to use across all of our school sites. We're continuing to work on our MTS system for recording that data. Right now, we have a lot in separate spreadsheets, and we're trying to find, is there a data system? Can we use Synergy to put it all together so we can track the students year by year across the district? So if they move schools, we still have their data. And so that's something we're also looking into. And then we also want to expand access by introducing our Spanish reading intervention program. So also thank you for improving the Paso por Paso that we're going to have in addition to UFly for our biliteracy classes. So those are our goals for next year as we start to frame the structure. So thank you for your support. I want to again thank our TOSAs, our MTSS assistants, and our site admin and teachers who have all been working together this year to build our systems to support our students. Thank you.
With one final quote, reading is the gateway skill that makes all other learning possible. Barack
Very
Obama.
true. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Appreciate the presentation, very informative. Do we have any public comment? Like to invite public comment? Seeing none in the library, is there any on Zoom? There's one public comment on Zoom. You may speak.
Stephanie Boffman here. I just had a quick question. I see, I love the presentation. I just want to know, what are you doing for the 5%? With SDC, is there any interventions that are going to happen with special ed department? Are there going to be any more supports geared that way?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Stephanie. Thank you. So Allison Gribben has been working with our special education department, and she has a multisensory reading program intervention that she's been working on. I believe this is the 2nd year that they've had that. So they're continuing to develop that and look at how that program meets the needs of our students that have more multisensory reading needs as well. So we're looking at really, as we build our foundation, our programs, how do we support all students? How do we support our students in the biliteracy pathway? How do we support our students with special needs and a more multisensory pathway? So yes, we are looking at all those different pieces.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Kim. Any other public comments on Zoom? No? Okay, thank you. I'm closing public comment, and now we will move to board member comments. Rick, do you have any comments or questions or?
Just thank you for the presentation. Lots to agree with, and thank you for all the data. Very much appreciated, and all your hard work, guys, and all the team too. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Angelo?
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to speak to us. I'll admit my Achilles heel is have to deal with reading. I'm more of the math guy, so the more that the more that the board, especially myself, gets instructed of what's going on, and also simplified in layman's terms for it's easy for us to understand, because that way we will know, have a better idea of how to support you guys when it comes to voting or propositions. So thank you for taking the time to do this with us.
Well, I just want to say thank you for your time in preparing this presentation and also for your dedication, giving up your Saturdays, because that's a big deal. So thank you. Something that definitely struck me was you said it would take 3 to 5 years. And I've heard that timeline from Matt about when it comes to really building a solid program that can stay in place and perpetuate great results even when people leave, right? Because people leave districts, people shift jobs. Oh no, I'm at time. People shift jobs. So, 3 to 5 years to meet those students, it just makes me so sad, right? Because we don't have that intervention there for them. And just like you showed, I thought that was very powerful. You need 3 hours a day to if they're in third grade, was it third grade?
By third grade.
By third grade. So, how do we need to gear ourselves so that we are able to intervene when they're in kinder? Because 15 minutes to 30 minutes, maybe we can manage that. Maybe we can somehow support that. So information is power, right? Data, hopefully being informed helps you to make better decisions. So I'm very happy to see that we are having the screener and developing a program and a system that can support students to come. And in my opinion, it can't come fast enough, but I really thank you for your efforts on this. So thank you very much. Yeah.
If I
Of
can
course.
add a
of
few
course you
things.
can.
Yeah. Okay. So folks, reading by third grade is one of the most important
Metrics.
aspects of K-12 education. Okay. The reason that we have kids struggling in middle school and in high school is generally because they couldn't read by third grade. You can track it all the way back, right? So the investment in up until third grade, reading by third grade is money in the bank. Right? It's an investment worth making. We make the investment there. We have less kids struggling in 4 through 6. We have less kids struggling in middle school. We have less kids struggling in high school. Our graduation rates go up. Our A through G rates go up. Kids' prospects go up when they read by third grade. It is so important. And that investment is so important. So, building the investment now, as you say, building the foundation and now framing the structure. Thank you so much for doing that. Okay. As I say, it's investing in students' future. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, next we are going to do a presentation on draft North Monterey County Safe Routes to School Plan. I want to thank you for your patience.
Sure, I
You've
learned
been
a lot
trooper.
just sitting
Thank
in the
you.
audience
Yeah.
today. I have a couple of third graders at home, so I'm already gonna feel like I have to start thinking about college prep now.
Yeah.
As long as,
Know it.
as long as they can read.
They're excellent readers. They're reading at a 6th grade level.
Oh,
Good
perfect.
job,
I
Mom.
know.
Good
Keep on,
job.
keep on
Good
giving them
job.
books.
Yes. They love to read. So thank you for having me tonight. I'm here to really get your feedback on some of the high priority projects in this plan. And I did have it's like a PDF, not a PowerPoint presentation, which would be great to have. Because I show some pictures of the projects, but I can get started without it. Oh, there we go. Thank you. So we got a grant from the state to develop this plan, and it includes 11 schools, public K through 12 schools in North Monterey County. And we partnered, next slide, with, oh, this is a different presentation. It's neither of those, but actually I can show you the projects in this one. So Yeah, we'll get there in just a second. So I'll give you a little bit of background and then we'll dive into that's good right there. Yeah, thank you so much. So we partnered with the County of Monterey. Did I introduce myself?
I don't think so, but
It's been a really long day.
we hear you.
I started my morning walking kids to school in King City.
Yeah.
So I'm like barely
You're doing
awake
it all.
right
You
now.
are doing it all.
Let me introduce myself.
Yeah.
My name is Ariana Green. I'm a principal transportation planner with the Transportation Agency for Monterey County. And I oversee our countywide Safe Routes to School program, which has funding from Sales Tax Measure X.
Nice.
And one of our goals for our Safe Routes to School program is that every school in Monterey County be covered or have a plan that includes all of the schools. So it's really important to have these plans because it's the first, you need a plan in order to get grant funding, right?
Yeah.
And funding from the state. And a lot of these transportation projects cost millions and millions of dollars. So it's really important. And it's also really important to develop these plans in partnerships with all the agencies and the schools that are involved with the plan. So that's what we strive for. And we started this project back in 2024. So it's been a couple of years. And we, the first thing that we did was we went to each school and we did site audits. So we watched the drop off mayhem and
That's about right.
yeah. And then we took pictures of, missing sidewalks or missing crosswalks. And one thing that we did that was special with this plan that we had never done before was that we worked with a class of condors and did a whole, like one fall semester, we worked with this class to do their own site visit and taught them about transportation planning and engineering. And then they went out and did their own observations and gave us recommendations, which are included in the plan. So was really cool. And then we worked with a community steering committee to identify projects. And so this plan has a list of project recommendations, and we prioritize them based off of the 4 criteria you can see here. So we prioritize projects that would make it safer to walk and bike and access schools. We prioritize projects that would connect to parks and community spaces because kids don't live at the schools, they go places afterwards. And then also projects that fill gaps in infrastructure and projects that were brought up specifically by community members. And we did work with all of the schools and all the parents at the schools to develop these recommendations. So tonight I want to show you just the highest priority projects. We do have the full planning document online. It's very long, hundreds of pages, so I'm not going to go through every project tonight, but would like your feedback on these projects. And then also after this meeting, if anyone online or anyone in the room cares to go through, you can send me feedback on additional projects. Next slide. All right, so the highest priority projects in Castroville really had to do with lighting. People said that the lighting is poor and it feels unsafe. So one of the projects is just to upgrade the lighting, especially around the recreation center and the schools. Next slide. Folks wanted more crosswalks, and if there's funding available to do artistic crosswalks. And this is something that we've done in other communities and involved youth in the development of the artwork. So we're hoping to do that in North County too. Next slide. All right, this project is to formalize a dirt path that connects Orilla del Agua to Castroville Boulevard. So this is down by, this is close to here by the high school. And these are students coming from the neighborhood and walking through the dirt path. And I'm sure it's flooded today after the rains. So they wanted to have it paved and formalized so it felt safer and they aren't soaking wet and muddy when they get to school. Next slide. This is a small project just to install high visibility crosswalks and curb extensions. So shortening the distance that people have to cross the street, which is much safer. And this is at Jill and Preston and Jill and Main Street. Next slide. And then also there's a recommendation to add a barrier along the bike path that leads up to the high school here. So this is not necessarily what it would look like, but we did get feedback that it needed to be a barrier that could allow wildlife to cross the road. So it can't be like a chain link fence. Something that looks nice though. And then this next recommendation was something that was actually brought up by the Condor class. And they said it was really unsafe getting out of this high school parking lot. And because there's lots of speeding on Castroville Boulevard. It's like when we were out there, there was a lot of crazy maneuvering. It was scary. So in this plan, we didn't land on a specific recommendation with the county. So there is going to need to be further study. But a couple of ideas we threw around were, oh, bless you, like a roundabout or an acceleration lane to give people more space to get onto Castroville Boulevard. So again, more studies needed. We didn't have enough data to really make a solid recommendation here, but highlighting that this is a problem area. Next slide. This is a really simple project that we actually have. Our agency has a grant program to provide bike parking and skateboard racks. So people just need to apply. The schools just need to apply and we can get them for you. But this was something that the community wanted, more bike parking on all campuses in Castroville. Next slide. Let's skip this one because this is the Pajaro Valley Unified School District, not you guys. Skip, and stop. So this project is to add sidewalk. This is near Prunedale Elementary and I think it's the continuation school on Pesante Road. And so this is to add sidewalk and parallel parking on the south side of Pesante Road, and then also connecting to the neighborhoods to the east and south. And that's just to make it easier for kids to access the schools. Next slide. And then this was kind of a general, this one is to install signage and bus stop shelters along Pesante and Blackie Road. And then we had just a general recommendation that people wanted improved bus shelters because so many students rely on buses to get to school in North County. Next slide, please. And then the number one program, because we can't fix all our problems with just infrastructure alone. We need programming too, is crossing guards. People really want crossing guards, and we actually offer crossing guard training through our Safe Routes to School program, and Monterey County Office of Education is right now organizing crossing guard trainings that we're paying for. So you just have to reach out to them or they're reaching out to you, I guess, and with some opportunities and trainings that are happening in August for the upcoming school year. Next slide. So this is our project timeline. We've been collecting feedback on the draft plan since March, and you guys are kind of our last stop on our presentation show. And then we're hoping to adopt the plan next month at the TAMC board meeting, the end of June, and then start implementing the plan and going after grant funding to make the projects happen. And that concludes my presentation. I'd love to hear your feedback.
Wonderful, thank you. We're going to start with public comment. Is there any public comment in the library? Seeing none, we're going to move to public comment on Zoom. We have one public comment. Go ahead.
Stephanie Bachman again. I'm sorry if I missed it. Was there still a plan for Elkhorn? I believe it was going to be a roundabout on Elkhorn.
I think I'm not sure which location you're talking about, but Do you know like can you give me a cross?
It
street?
was, it's Dolan Road, Castroville Boulevard and Elkhorn Road.
I'm not sure off the top of my head. But yeah, I can check and get back to the school district. I'm not sure how to get information back to you though.
Yeah, we have our email.
Okay.
You can send it to me.
I can send it to you. Okay, I will check. So Dolan Road and Castroville Roundabout. Did you have some comments about that project?
Well, I think it was when you guys were doing all the site visits and everything for Elkhorn. I believe that was one discussion or one plan proposal was the sidewalks and also like a roundabout for the school entrance and exit to alleviate the traffic. But I don't know if that was approved to go through or if it was just in the works and talking about it. I was just curious to see if that fell off the plans.
There are several recommendations for roundabout studies because we have to do an analysis at any intersection to see if it warrants having a roundabout. So that's probably what the recommendation was for. But again, I can confirm that and then email the superintendent.
No worries. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie, for your public comment. Are there any other public comments? Okay, no, I'm going to close public comment and I will now move to the board for any comments or questions. Angela?
No, thank you for bringing this up. It's exciting to see these improvements that we might have, especially since as trustees, we get a lot of emails. And there's a lot of solutions here.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And if you get emails that are related to safe routes to school, you can feel free to email me because we can use those letters in grant applications. So
That's successful.
yeah.
Thank you, Angelo. Rick?
Yeah, thank you for coming back. I was on the steering committee for I went to 80-90% of the meetings. Gino and Amelia did a great job. Also went to the site audits for I think a couple schools, definitely the middle school. The upgraded lighting, was that voted on and approved? Because I remember some advocates had that, even before the steering committee started, and they went to the rec center board meetings and then to the Castroville Community Services meetings. And I believe it's their responsibility, not necessarily TAMC.
Correct. It is, yes. So that is a project that is currently unfunded, unlike the participatory budgeting projects. So the participatory budgeting projects those are funded. But the projects that we focused on tonight don't have funding identified for them yet. And it is the Community Services District's responsibility to do it. So we'll work with them to find funding for that project.
And the decorative crosswalks, I think I had stopped going to the meetings at the end, and I hadn't heard of that, but that's awesome. If that happens, some feedback you probably heard. You had the little pamphlets out or online about the Castroville runabouts. Everyone did not like them at all. They were really small and more of a hassle than slowing down things. But the places in Castroville, especially mostly Guile Street, because that's the fastest street. That some stuff is definitely needed. And I brought up a lot it was a law and it was probably pretty cheap. Is the term called daylighting where
Yes.
So that would do wonders everywhere, especially in Castroville, because it's more of a town, everything's closer together rather than Prunedale. But yeah, I didn't see that right now. I went through the 200-page one, probably 150 pages, but real quick. And oh yeah, crossing guards. We used to have them, but there's little conflict with if they could volunteer or not. We had one actually. I don't remember if there's more than that, but that would be awesome to have those in certain places in our district. So if that ends up happening, that would be spectacular. When is the TAMC board meeting?
It's the fourth Wednesday in June. I should know off the top of my head. Hang on.
It's okay, I got that. I still get emails too from the steering or from the TAMC and the committee on this. I've been a little more busy than I used to when I first started that steering committee, but that was great. I always brag at all the meetings that it was brought up that meeting just had so much involvement and engagement. People just came to them, you know, everyone got to eat and feel involved because they were involved. So I'm glad you came and thank you for the update. And I'll probably reach out on the email.
Great, thank you. And the TAMC board meeting is June 24th.
24th.
I guess my question is, I see $1 million, right? It says $1 million in identified projects to the following schools, and it has about 10 schools listed. So when we're deciding what priorities are, because $1 million is not a lot of money, is this just to kind of?
So the $1 million was just for the participatory budgeting project.
Okay, so to identify and get community
Which
feedback.
identified by the steering committee,
Okay.
and then there was a whole like public voting process.
Okay.
So the greater community got to vote on projects. And it was a whole process to determine they wanted to make it equitable, so every school got a project. But it's not nearly enough, you're right.
Right.
And so that's why we have the plan with the other bigger projects identified so that we can go after grant funding.
Okay, so when
Yeah.
if we wanted to give you feedback, if we go through and then look at this and say, wow, this is really a priority because it's a safety risk. We just contact you directly, we email you?
Yes.
Yeah, and then that would be the same thing if we were interested in like bike parking. I mean, that sounds like a great idea. It's free. We just ask you, right? And go through your process and then we get these additional, sounds like bike racks for students or
And
employees to
skateboard
use.
racks. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. So the process is just to email you. Can you say your email?
Yes.
Okay. Just for people listening.
Yeah, and I'll follow up too, but it's Ariana, ARIANA at TAMCmonterey.org.
Okay.
And if you could send that on to me, I'll make sure that the board gets it.
I will.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your presentation and for the information. We appreciate your efforts in trying to make the spaces safer and more accessible for students and the community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I am going to propose we take a 5-minute break. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, please return at 8:15. And calling back our superintendent and our member of the board, please. It's 8:16. We're a minute past our return time. Okay, we're going to be moving on to our next agenda item, which is public comment on non-agenda matters. I see no one in the library. Is there anyone on Zoom who would like to make a public comment on non-agenda matters? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close public comment, and we're going to be moving on to our next agenda item, which is board reports. And I'm going to start with you, Rick.
Yeah, just wanted to thank the district for and the board for us recognizing Mental Health Awareness Month. And also for recognizing CSCA Appreciation Week, is it? And also for the wrestling team, did a great job. Wrestling here at North County has been very it's a thing in North County for over 50 years plus. My whole family did it. I did it. My son did it. Uncles, dad, but the whole community, and so the middle school, great job, and I know the rest of the high school also did great in winter, and the baseball team, I coached many kids on that team, whether it was in baseball or football, and to see them when they're 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 years old, and now high school is great, and it's kudos to all the people that were involved with them, their coaches over the years, and their parents and everything, and great accomplishment that Brent has been doing since he started, because the program had been a little from doing great with Gower, and then kind of like a in between, and then since Brent's been there, it's been nothing but doing good. And then with softball, a 15-game win improvement from last year. 19 wins overall, and winning league for the first time in 31 years. They won CCS a few years back, but that was being second or third place in a league that was super hard. So they got a berth, but they ended up winning the CCS, which is higher than league, obviously. But to win the league means so much to everyone in the community, not just the school, but and then being at every game, seeing the progression of the young team, and then also the girls that were older. It's just awesome that they did that. So I just wanted to I think that's it on my board reports.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for those words. Angelo,
Yes, just getting my
your notes.
So I said, I really want to take this opportunity to speak. I do have something I've prepared. I want to use my board member report tonight to speak about an issue that has been weighing heavily on me. I want to be clear from the beginning that I'm going to be speaking from a personal place, but I'm also going to try to do it in a measured, respectful, and constructive way. I want to connect this report and my comments tonight to something I said during our Veterans Day resolution last year. At that meeting, I did speak very candidly as a veteran. I was raw, and I know my words were direct. I said then that I did not believe this district has always been veteran-friendly or military-friendly in practice. I want to acknowledge that those comments came from a deeply personal place, but I also want to be clear, the concern itself has not gone away. In fact, what I have seen and learned since then has only deepened my concern. This past weekend, our country observed Memorial Day. Memorial Day is not simply a long weekend, and it's not a general military appreciation day. It is a solemn day of remembrance for the men and women who have died in the service of this country. As a veteran and as a trustee, I was deeply disappointed that our district did not take the time to formally recognize Memorial Day through a resolution or any other meaningful acknowledgement. For me, that did not feel like a one-time oversight. It felt connected to a broader concern that I have already raised publicly, whether actions as a district match the respect we say that we have for our veterans' service and sacrifice. I also want to speak about students who choose military service after graduation. I've recently been working with outside agencies and veterans organizations on the idea of recognizing our students from this district who have chosen to enlist in the United States Armed Forces. I believe students who choose college, career, trades, public service, or military service all equally deserve dignity and recognition. No student should feel that military service is somehow a lesser, hidden, or unsupported pathway. To be clear, I am not asking this district to push students into the military. That is not the role of the school district. But I am asking that we treat military service with the same basic respect we give to other lawful and honorable post-secondary options. Recently, I have also heard from our local military recruiters across all the multiple branches here regarding their experience with access, communication, and cooperation with our schools, or lack of. I am not making any findings tonight, and I'm not asking anyone to accept hearsay as fact. But when similar concerns are raised across multiple branches, I believe we have a responsibility to take that seriously. Verify the facts and ensure that our district is treating military service as a legitimate post-secondary pathway for our students. I also remain concerned about what happened to the California Cadet Corps program at our district. This district had a formal MOU cooperative agreement for a Cadet Corps program at the North Monterey County High School. That agreement was not just symbolic. It included expectations around class time, facilities, administrative support, uniforms, equipment, and sustaining the program for a minimum period of time. When the program was paused, the board was told that the district would take the time to restructure their third year, restructure the program, look for a new instructor, and find better ways to support our students. My understanding is that was supposed to be a temporary hiatus. It has now been approximately 2 years and the program has not returned. I have not seen a clear update to the board explaining what steps were taken, what barriers were encountered, whether a new instructor was sought, whether the district communicated with the California Cadet Corps, or whether the district still intends to bring this program back. That concerns me because a board-supported student leadership pathway should not simply disappear through inaction. If the district no longer intends to support the Cadet Corps, then it should be discussed transparently. If there were barriers, the board should understand what they were. If the program can be restored or replaced with another leadership pathway, then we should have that conversation openly. So tonight, I'm not here to repeat a raw statement from my Veterans Day meeting. I'm here to ask for follow-through. I'm asking for a factual update. I'm asking for a review of our practices. I'm asking for a serious conversation about whether military service is being treated with the same dignity as other student pathways. This is about student opportunity. It is about institutional respect. It is about follow-through, and it's about whether our actions are going to match our stated values. Again, I am not asking this district to promote military service over college, trades, employment, or any other pathway, but I am asking that military service not be treated as a lesser path. I'm asking that students who are interested in the service have access to accurate information. I'm asking that our recruiters be treated professionally, consistently, and with respect. I'm asking that veterans, service members, military families, and students considering service feel respected in this district. I'm looking forward that we ask for a future agenda item or a board update regarding military connected student pathways. That update should include recruiter access procedures, the status and history of our Cadet Corps program, what happened after the program was placed on hiatus, and what efforts are going to be made to restructure or restore it, and whether the district intends to bring forward a plan to restore or replace that opportunity for our students. I am raising this because I care deeply about our students, our community, and the values we model as a district. We do not have to agree on every issue related to military service, but I believe we should be able to agree that service and sacrifice deserve respect and that students deserve access to every lawful and honorable pathway available to them. Thank you.
Further? Okay, thank you for your board report. Looks like you are asking for some follow-up action items, and Matt, if you have any clarifications, you can check in with Angelo.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. For my board report, I did attend the scholarship award ceremony. It's always really nice to see our students recognized for their academic strength and hard work. I also attended a second performance of Beauty and the Beast, and just was very pleased to see the work that Mrs. Hearn and Mr. Hearn have put into the program to see it grow from 8 students to 30 students, and 4 years of theater being offered to our students, which I think is phenomenal. Hearing you talk, Rick, about the sports programs, it just makes me, well, it reminds me of how far we've come. And it just really goes to show when you have really excellent programs that support students, they can flourish. And you want to have a wide variety of programs, because different activities, different passions ignite purpose in students. And so we want to have as many different things available for students. So I really see our district making wonderful progress, but there's still work to be done. It always makes me very sad when we hear our students don't have access to things that other schools do, like the CCGI, right? And so I know how hard we've been doing to try to make that right. And there's still certainly progress to be made, but I think we've made really good progress, and we need to recognize that even in our haste to speed ahead and to ask for more. So that's my board update. And next we will be moving to, and we miss our student. We're glad she's having fun, but we miss our student voice. And next we're going to move on to our superintendent report.
Okay, thank you. So we'll go to slide 2, please. So we've been continuing the school site visits and getting community feedback on our facilities tours. So a couple of facilities tours recently was out to Central Bay High School and Independent Study, and then also out to Echo Valley Elementary. So that actually is all of the sites which we have now visited and done facility tours on. And we've been looking at the results of the feedback from the community and what kind of priorities the community would want to see in a potential bond measure. Next slide, please. Okay, so the last dinner with the superintendent, which we hosted, was on the biliteracy pathway. And it was a pretty wonderful evening with lots of learning about the biliteracy pathway, how it's put together, what it means, how best to teach it, supports available to teachers, and also the things which are available to students. So yeah, a really good evening of learning and building those bridges and between languages was so important. Next slide, please. Okay, so it was recently Classified Appreciation Week, and so we appreciated our classified folks. I visited each and every school, each and every site, from the bus drivers to FMOT, to the I even gave some of the kitchen staff some of their scones, which
They're like, these things we just made up.
yeah, right, exactly. Well, it was from the high school to the elementary
Okay.
school. So it does count a little bit,
There's
I think.
getting her.
Yeah,
speed.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, that's right. That's right. And I do want to say a few words about our classified staff. So as we all know, our schools simply wouldn't run without our classified staff, right? So from our, as I said, from our bus drivers, from our folks who work in the office, from our admin assistants, from our tech folks over in the IT office, okay? From all of the folks who work in the in nutrition services, all of our folks in classified, you make schools run, you keep them safe, you keep them warm, and you're there for our kids each and every day. Thank you from the bottoms of our hearts. Thank you. Next slide, please. As Rick mentioned, May is Mental Health Awareness Day. And this is our opportunity to actually shine a light on mental health awareness and knowing that mental health is an essential component of both student learning and wellness and overall success, but also for adults, okay? Mental health is something which we all need to pay attention to. Whether we know it or not, it impacts us absolutely all of the time. Being in good mental health helps us be good people, and it's something which we want to support in ourselves and in everybody. Next slide, please. Okay, so next week is the big week. And the big week starts off with our graduation ceremony for educational options on Wednesday, where we will be out on the stadium. And then on Thursday, we have our middle school promotion. And then on Friday, we have our high school graduation. So each of those days are coming up. We look forward to seeing everybody there. Next slide, please. Okay, our staff spotlight. Okay, so this week's staff spotlight goes to Tonette Jones and Sandra Shreve. And these two ladies teach our 5th and 6th grade students over at Elkhorn Elementary, and 6th grade students who are in 2, 3s, and 4s on the LPAC during leveled ELD instruction. Throughout this past year, their dedication and focus have allowed for almost all of their students in their classrooms to be redesignated fluent English proficient students. They find value and importance in everything they do with their students, and they strive to ensure that our English learners have the opportunity to be successful on the LPAC. We're very proud of them and about how hard they work for our students, and we're lucky to have them as part of the Elkhorn team. Let's give them a round of applause, please. And next slide, please. So this slide is for our Community Service Award, and this goes to Junior Rodriguez for his outstanding dedication, generosity, and commitment to serving the community. As the owner of Round Table Pizza, Junior's built more than just a successful local business. He's created a place where families, students, athletes, and community members feel supported and connected. Over the years, Junior has consistently stepped up to give back through sponsorships, fundraisers, and community-driven events that have directly impacted countless local families. From supporting youth sports organizations and helping provide opportunities for young athletes, to hosting school fundraising nights and community benefit efforts. His efforts have helped strengthen the spirit of togetherness around North Monterey County. So, Junior, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Let's give a round for Junior, please. And that is it for the superintendent report this evening.
Thank you, Matt. We next will be moving on to CSTA. Is there anyone present to provide a report? Anyone on Zoom? Okay, seeing none, we'll be moving on to our Federation of Teachers. Hi, Cassandra.
Hello, Cassandra Quaylar, currently Elkhorn site rep, but soon to be our union vice president.
Congratulations.
Today, our union's negotiating team met with the district's negotiating team, and we had a productive first day of negotiations for the 2026-2027 school year. So getting ahead of the game. Our team is looking forward to meeting again at the dates we scheduled for August and September. So just wanted a little update.
Thank you. Okay, next we will be moving on to discussion, action, and or information items. Our first item is to approve proposed revisions to Board Policy 5131.8, mobile communication device. Hi, Antonio.
Hello, good evening, Board President, trustees, Dr. Turkey, and community members. At the previous board meeting, we presented the first reading of the proposed revisions for Board Policy 5131.8 regarding student mobile communication devices. Tonight, we're returning for your requests for approving the recommended revisions that you will see in the attachment. As a reminder, this is coming from Assembly Bill 3216, which requires school districts to adopt policies that limit or prohibit student smartphone use during the school day no later than July 1st of this year. The revised policy shifts the district from the current model that we currently have, which allows student use during non-instructional time. And that's primarily at the high school, as we said before. At the elementary and at the middle school, there's no use of cell phones at all. But at the high school, once they're out of the classroom, then they can use it. So this revision, this request would be that we have bell-to-bell expectations of prohibiting smartphone use throughout the school day. The goal of this policy really is twofold. It's really to support more engagement for our students, more equitable learning environments. So there's consistencies from site to site. And that also, as you saw with the data that I shared with y'all last time, that we support our students' well-being because the impacts of the overuse of smartphones are really serious, as we all as adults also, or I can speak for myself, as I know.
Speak for all.
So the proposed policy still has to keep with law, and that students may still access the devices during emergencies, or if staff directs students to use the phones, or for documented health reasons, or if required by something formal like an IEP or a 504 plan. This does not change that. That stays consistent. And I also wanted to remind the board and the community with how we got here. So we engaged with our site administrators, district administrators on this recommendation. We engaged with our families, our students, and union leadership. The spaces that we did this, we did it at formal meetings with AFT. I met with our president, and additional leaders from CSEA to get their input on this recommendation. Dr. Turkey and I got to meet with the amazing District Student Advisory Council, which included our board president, who was part of that meeting. And then we also had a dinner with the superintendent focus on this board policy to gather additional input for it. So also in the attachments that you see on the board policy are draft of what will eventually be the administrative regulations. And those regulations are really intended to be guidelines for sites, not like prescriptive directions that every single site must do, because they need to determine how they're going to follow up with the discipline, how they're going to implement this policy. You do leave it up to the sites with district level support with how to get there. And so at this time, we respectfully recommend the board to approve the proposed revisions to Board Policy 5138.8. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your report, Antonio. Are there any technical questions from any member of the board? Technical or clarification questions?
Yeah, for sure.
Please, Rick.
If adopted today, does each site have different or similar but different but made on their own policy?
Thank you for the question, Trustee Diaz. So it would mean that it would be the same across the board. They would be completely prohibited. How they're going to enforce those policies would be up to the site. So an example of that would be at the middle school right now, the phones are not prohibited, right? And in speaking to Mr. Rimmer at the middle school, because the policy is working really well, they, for example, have said that they don't need pouches to enforce that policy. If at the high school, the district site administration with staff determined that they needed different tools for storage, they might approach it in a different way. So what is the same everywhere is bell-to-bell prohibition. If you approve this and adopt this, it would mean that at the high school specifically, right? No cell phones would be allowed, but how they enforce it is up to the site.
And did any of the sites and other people that were gathered for input say the manners of that they might be stored?
Yes, with the union, we spoke about potentially having pouches at the dinner with superintendent.
Is it Individual pouches or the pouches you see that
No,
like
yeah,
there's 30?
we actually spoke about both. So in
Oh,
some
okay.
classrooms, you actually have like little cubbies that they can park it. You get like a number, you
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
number,
yeah.
which what number you are. At my daughter's school, that's how they do it. We also had the conversation about individual pouches as well. But again, those decisions will be made at the site level with how they want to approach it. But both of those ideas were discussed at those settings.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it right now.
Thank you, Rick. I guess the question I have is what will be the communication plan? Especially, it sounds like at the elementary level and at the middle school,
Yeah.
there is a process in place where expectations are clearly laid out.
Yeah.
What is the communication plan for the high school? So parents know what to expect and you know, students know what to expect. Seniors are gonna come back to an environment where they've been freewheeling on their cell phones. So how do we kind of set up those expectations so we don't have a lot of disappointed, frustrated
Sure.
students? Yeah.
Or how can we limit some of the frustrations?
Hopefully,
Because
yes.
there's going to be some no matter
Yes,
what.
if they're a plan.
So I would say that as soon as if the board does agree to approve this, then we couldn't start beforehand, obviously. So if it's there in place, we're going to need to start working right away with Mr. Andrews, particularly at the high school. Lean a lot more closer to our unions for communication, for the kind of professional development that they're going to need. Determining if we are going to do cubbies, as Trustee Diaz was saying, or go with the pouches, because then you have to start putting certain things, processes in place to get there. When that is decided, then yes, working with Rebecca, our armbruster, our communications director, and the site for how we're going to get this message out. Once we are clear what the message is going to be, we will have to start that. I'm going to need to work closely with Dr. Turkey, Mr. Andrews, with rolling that out. On the bright side, I would say that so many of our families have kids at multiple sites. The majority of our students are used to not having them at all. So it's really that, again, that transition, right? Or some of our families, when they have the kids in high school, we have to work hard on communication for it. But it looks like Dr. Turkey, you want to add something?
Yeah, I was just going to say I've been working with Mr. Andrus at the high school thinking about this. And so, you know, they have some communication. They know that after tonight, that it's communication is going to be critical. And in terms of pouches, they're leaning against having those individual pouches like we talked about last time.
Yeah.
Thinking that it probably would be a waste of money.
Yeah. Is a third option, you can have it on you, but we don't want to see it. And if we see it, we're going to
Correct.
take it away?
That's
Is that an
exactly-
option? That's
that-
what they do at the middle school, right?
That is
it?
essentially
It is.
what it could be.
Okay.
So as in
Yeah.
like, hey, it's gone and away, as long as we don't see it.
Yeah,
it's
the middle school
okay.
doesn't use pouches, not couches, pouches and nor cubbies. So they just not out of sight, out of mind, basically is what it is at the middle school. And hypothetically, that could be the same thing
Okay,
at the high school.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, now we will open it up for public comment. Seeing none in the library, is there any public comment on Zoom? No. Okay, so now I will invite a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
Does it matter like if the other colleagues, they're just gonna,
We're-
agree? Do you
yeah.
think you feel like,
Well, we're here to conduct the business of the board. And
no,
so
I know, I'm
yeah.
not, I know. We
There is some
have 2 months,
sensitivity.
you're a month and a half or whatever.
Yeah, but to get communication out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if I may add, this is also state mandated work, like they're really who wrote the thing.
No, for sure, but it's either what is the word? Not tweak, but like either fully prohibit or limit. So
Correct.
there, like how many times have we talked about this? A couple times?
I guess, let me fix my motion. I want a motion to fully prohibit bell to bell. Except with the state standards that say like, hey, there's a state, help me out, doc, there's motion, it's fully, basically, I want to motion it, bell to bell, no use, except where the law says you're allowed to use it.
That's what's in there in the recommendations that we do that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to second it. And now we will open it up for discussion. So Rick, you have a comment or a concern?
Just the other colleagues are not here. I do that for, other things too. So, yeah, if you guys think it's
Well,
gonna pass regardless, then
I mean, I appreciate that. I haven't heard any opposition from either colleague. Are you aware of any concerns they had?
No, it's not on the board business, but basically the consensus was we choose a policy and we
Consistent.
follow through. And that would fix the issue from like I said, my experiences in the past.
Because the data says that this is harmful for students to have access to their phones. It distracts them and they lose focus. from
And,
the
and
school
basically
day.
every school in our district has zero access with the exception of the high school. And then my personal experience was a complete disaster because what is it? If you give a mouse a cookie, remember that book?
Yeah.
So,
so.
yeah, go on.
Oh. So if we do I mean, obviously, yeah, if we do the full, like you're saying, and not limit by giving our own input, how does a parent, like say myself, get a hold of a student? Do I call the office, say, hey, get this message? It's not an important message, but it's a message in general. How do I do that?
I do not say this to be comical, but like how it was for us in the 90s.
Yeah. No cell phones.
I mean, I'm not trying to be funny there, but
No, it's funny.
with
It's
a
funny.
beeper,
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah, it's not a big damn.
no, I'm just saying, I'm assuming, but I think you do bring, Trustee Diaz, you bring a legitimate concern. Because something we've heard here many times is it's hard to get a hold of a human being when you call the district. So if we're taking their cell phones away, we need to have a process in place that fixes the issue that when I call the school, do I actually get a live human on the other side?
Yeah.
Because and I'm glad you brought that up, because I didn't think about that. I was like, because every time I call the district office, it goes to voicemail. The workaround to get to district office is for me to call transportation.
I mean, I've called attendants and they regularly attend, but sometimes it does go to voicemail. So I guess that is a concern. Would there be additional support to answer the phones if people were to call because now they can't reach their students directly?
I mean, it would be, to your point, it would be calling up the office, but I will say with the caveat, we will not be employing more people at the office to answer phones because of the cell phone rule.
Which I agree, but I think it's safe to say, like, when you call the school, it should be not as difficult as it currently is.
And
with
can
the staffing to at least hear a human voice on the other end.
Can a student use a landline and go like, oh man,
I have to call my parents?
Yeah,
Of course.
Yes, well, actually, can I just share with you? I let many students use my landline in my classroom. You hit the dime and
oh, they have it in classroom.
Each office still has a phone.
Every classroom has it. And usually we'll get notified by, like I said, by runners and this, and usually when a parent, from my experience, a parent would call. They would transfer to my room and I pick it up and I would have
okay.
mom and dad
Yeah,
say, hey, I need to speak to my son. I'm like, Junior,
So
over
there's a
here.
process in place.
But we do have to acknowledge it's not a perfect process right now. It needs to, other than just giving me a nice, warm reassurance, I want to see some follow-up of how do we fix this?
And the opposite of what I was saying, basically, and what you said kind of about the 90s is like with the smaller kids, I don't get messages to my second grader, so like it's kind of like it's the same thing to the
Yeah.
the high schooler. Yeah. So okay, I just had those questions for the public and the colleagues and stuff like that.
About it, yeah.
I was very envious. I never had the beeper. All the cool kids did.
No,
I did not.
Okay. Well, now that we're done reminiscing, I'm going to, if there's no further questions or discussion, we are going to, I'm gonna move to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Anyone opposed? Yeah. Okay. Motion carries.
Thank you, board.
Thank you so much. Okay, next we're going to move on to approve adoption of instructional materials, Eureka, California Math Squared for grades K through 8.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I'm here tonight to recommend that the board approve the adoption of Eureka, California Math Squared for mathematics curriculum for grades K to 8. I presented to the board about a month ago on the adoption process, and then we've had it open for public viewing and input for the last 30 days, and it closed on Tuesday. And so at this time, we would like to take it to the board for approval. The financial cost for this adoption for an 8-year adoption would be $806,834.
Okay, thank you. Are there any clarification questions from any member of the board?
Yeah, I just would, is they 100,000 all at once or, or is it across the 8 years?
Oh, do we have a
Yes.
payment plan?
So
Can
we
get a
have-
payment
I don't know.
We get money every year in lottery funds for
Oh, okay.
instructional materials, and there has not been any large adoptions in this district for many years, especially for elementary.
We have available.
So there is available funding, and I've been working with Brenda on making sure that we have the
Oh,
funding
it's
for
lottery
this.
funds. Okay,
So,
okay.
That's
Thank
what
you.
we would use to fund it.
That's it.
It is a chunk, but then we're good for 8 years, so it,
Nice.
I guess, Kim, my question is, did we receive any feedback from the public?
not on Eureka. There was one public comment on the ELA.
So
But
no
not on
public
the thoughts,
comment. Okay, thank you, Kim. Now I'm going to open it up for public comment. Seeing none in-house, is there any on Zoom? Okay, seeing none in Zoom, I'm going to invite a motion for approve adoption of instructional materials Eureka, California Math Squared for grades K through 8.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
I shall second.
Okay, now I'm going to open it up for discussion. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Okay, now I'm on a motion, now I'm going to invite a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Next, we're going to move on to approve adoption of instructional materials, Study Sync Middle School ELA curriculum.
So similar to the math adoption, so we presented to the board on our ELA adoption process. The recommendation is to adopt Study Sync for grades 7th and 8th. The cost is $224,702 for an 8-year adoption of Study Sync.
Thank you. And Kim, would you share the public comment that you received on the curriculum?
Yeah, so that one was the one we kind of touched on it in the presentation. It was just the one parent, and they said that their child had liked Amplify and preferred Amplify, but it was just the one that we had. So we did take that in consideration when we were going through the process, but there was more student voices that said they preferred Study Sync. So it kind of balanced that piece out.
Thank you. Is there any clarifying questions from any member of the board? Rick?
Yeah, is this particular curriculum in many districts or?
I don't know how many, there's definitely many districts that have it adopted. So it was one of the 2 that was approved by California. So I don't have the exact number, but most districts either have Study Sync or Amplify. So there are many that have it. And it's also what our high school has adopted. So it would be cohesive going from middle school to high school.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rick. Seeing no public, is there a public comment in the library? Public comment? I'm opening public comment. Is there public comment? No? Okay. Is there any public comment in Zoom? Okay, I'm going to close public comment. I'm going to invite a motion.
So moved.
Okay.
I shall second.
Okay, now I'm going to open it up for discussion. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to invite a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Next, we're going to be moving on to approve the 2025-2026 negotiated salary schedule increases for CSCA Chapter 6. Hi, Curtis.
Hello, good evening, board. Earlier this evening during your consent items, the board adopted the tentative agreements with CSCA. I'm happy to report that we reached agreement on Article 14, 25, and 9. And part of that was the negotiated salary increase that matches AFTs as well. So this item is specifically the new salary schedule that goes along with that previously adopted motion back in consent land. And so the recommendation is that the board approves the 2025-2026 negotiated salary schedule increases for CSEA Chapter 6. The fiscal impact was already adopted on the adopted budget previously approved by the board. Happy
Thank
to
you.
answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Curtis. Are there any clarification questions from board members? No? Okay. Is there any public comment? Any public comment on Zoom? Okay, seeing none, I'm closing public comment and I invite a motion.
I motion to approve item 4, approve the negotiated salary schedule for CSCA Chapter 6 for 25 and 26.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I'm gonna invite discussion. Is there any discussion? No? Okay, seeing none, we're moving to voting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to our next item, which is to approve the 2025-2026 salary increase for unrepresented employees.
All right, good evening again.
Good evening.
Item 5, this is the recommend a motion for the board to approve the 2025-2026 salary increases for the unrepresented employees. These proposed salary increases match that of both bargaining units, AFT as well as CSCA, and they include the unrepresented hourly salary schedule, yard duty supervisors, confidential salary schedules, classified licensed professional salary schedules, classified management, classified non-PERS hourly salary schedule, the child development assistants, and certificated management salaries.
Yeah.
And actually, before there's any further discussion on this, there's certain things which I do need to read out because there was a change in law recently. So, and these are to do with the assistant superintendents. So pursuant to Government Code Section 54953, Subdivision C3, the board provides this oral summary of a recommended increase in salary and fringe benefits for the following local agency executive: Brenda Ramirez, classified assistant superintendent, business services, shall receive a 3.5% increase in salary for the 25-26 school year. Classified assistant superintendent, business services annual base salary shall be $193,567, effective July 1st, 2025. Health and welfare and other fringe benefits, the same as other administrators. Pursuant to Government Code, I'm going to go through the same thing. Section 54953, Subdivision C3, the board provides this following oral summary for Antonio Garcia, certificated assistant superintendent, shall receive a 3.5% increase in salary. For the 25-26 school year, certificated assistant superintendent annual base salary shall be $225,635, effective July 1st, 2025. Health and welfare and other fringe benefits, the same as other administrators. And finally, Curtis Wilson, certificated assistant superintendent, shall receive a 3.5% increase in salary. For the 25-26 school year, certificated assistant superintendent annual base salary shall be $230,146, effective July 1st, 2025. Health and welfare and other fringe benefits, same as other administrators.
That's your reading?
That's my reading.
Okay. Now we are going to open it up for clarification questions from any board member. Yes, who wants to start?
So what you read is, what was that? A law?
So essentially, a law recently came out which said that even though the salary scales are attached in here, that there should be an oral reporting out of the heads of each of the big departments. So essentially, that is our assistant superintendents. And so the law essentially says that those actually have to be written out with the name and the position of the person and what the salary would actually be.
And does administrative, like the ones you read off, are they negotiated or they just come with other negotiations?
So they're not negotiated because they're unrepresented. So essentially they go along with the other ones. So when there's and all of these here are all unrepresented. So each of these groups are unrepresented. And because they're non-represented, there is no bargaining agreement, but instead we bring it to the board as in, hey, the bargaining units have gotten the 3.5%. And then this is essentially saying that these other folks who are unrepresented would also get the 3.5%.
Okay, thank you.
Angela?
Yeah, do we have a Me Too clause for this?
Not officially.
Not official clause because we don't have a bargaining agreement.
So this is me just trying to learn the
Yeah,
process.
absolutely.
I understand past practice, all the other delicious words. But why, if we don't have a Me Too, why do we match what the unions do? I mean, why not just have Kelly Moore just negotiate for unrepresentative CSEA and you guys if we're all matching? Like, I'm trying to understand why unrepresentative is basically asking for the same as them.
Right. And I hate
And
to
I'm
use this
simply
term,
just trying to
but it
understand.
truly is past practice and the majority of districts do the same thing. There's always a management is rarely represented across all districts.
Mhm.
And along with yard supervisors, daycare workers often non-represented as well. So, and our licensed professionals are also unrepresented. So what typically happens is it is in a sense a Me Too, unofficial Me Too clause.
Unofficial. So
Unofficial.
I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
you know the way I like to be. I want to just call this route. This is a very awkward conversation, having this conversation with you on the podium.
That's okay.
And you guys, because I'm not trying to put you on the defense for
No,
your
no,
salary.
totally get it.
I'm just trying to understand because I know we have like basically two different levels of unclassified. And let's just call it out. We have our high paid administrators, and then we have everybody else who just happens to be unrepresented. I mean, obviously, this law that came out is because people felt that and it's not, I'm not accusing you of attacking, but obviously somewhere, somehow, some dude or gal said, I need to pass a law and let the public know this because the salary is a concern where most people are kind of taken back. And I'm not saying that you don't deserve it.
You are fine.
I know, but it is awkward. I want to call it out. It's like, I'm not trying to attack you guys. It's just awkward because 3.5% for one of the highest paid positions is not the same as 3.5% for one of the lower paid positions of unrepresentative. I'm just kind of thrown off by the unofficial Me Too clause.
Yeah.
And also in this, like, let's have a little bit of a study session here. One of the things with negotiations, we do pushing back with the unions. We sometimes want them to give something up for the betterment of the district.
Right.
So how does that work with non-representative managements on the terms? Like, because I'm looking at past practice. I mean, thanks to the search tool we went from, in over 15 years, management has went from 4 or 5 tiers up to 10 tiers now. And I'm just saying, it's on our thing. Where's the checks and balances? What's to prevent us from having many more tiers later? Is it we're just doing what the union does? Or do you pick and choose which union has a better?
We're on different tiers. So it would be the board adopting salary schedules. And if we are to come with a proposal of, hey, add 5 more tiers, that would be up to the board to decide.
I guess what I want to address is the awkwardness of, we want to support you guys, but it's like, it almost feels like there's no checks and balances.
May I? It's interesting though, because the folks who negotiate with the different unions is upper management. And so because it's upper management, they couldn't negotiate with themselves, essentially.
Yeah, but so how does the board do that? Because how do, like, we don't have the expertise to say, it's like, you know, maybe we want to reduce your days that you work, which you might not be pro like we would do with a union. Like how we change the days for, like, because that was a vote that came with the athletic coordinator. We were talking about days, right? Because you guys felt this, but like, where's the checks and balances with you guys? We just take it on blind faith. They're like, hey, and it's not calling anyone out here directly, but it just feels very the slippery slope argument,
right?
Which is not a valid argument. It's a logical fallacy, but it just throws me off that there's a whole process here where how do we show you guys support, but how do we make sure that our staff, for example, let's just say this, let's say AFT got 3.5, but for some weird reason, CSEA got 2.5. Well, then what would you guys bring? It's a hypothetical. Then what would management bring to us? Are you gonna ask for the 2.5 or the 3.5? Because 5 years ago, they didn't have the same pay raise because they did in lieu of for whatever compensation. So I'm like, so how does management decide what they're gonna ask for? Really, I don't think you can answer these questions now, but this is, I just want to address the awkwardness.
Yeah.
Because it puts me in a spot where, how do I have to support this, I want to support it.
Right.
But I think it's important as a board, we recognize there's no checks and balances here. We're taking it on blind trust and faith that we're gonna do what's right, what we do is best and right and professional, but it is a very scary feeling. And I just want to address that, at least put that on the record, like, it's just very awkward. Because I don't want to deny you guys, I know the work you guys are doing, but how do you pick and choose which number you're going for?
Because they've never been different since I've been here, I
Yeah,
can't tell,
but-
I can assume I know what I would do.
Well, and I'm just gonna go with the one where CSEA did have a different raise from AFT. This is like when I first got hired, they had a different raise. So then what do you do in a scenario like that? Which are you, I mean, I'm gonna choose a higher one. 'Cause
I know what my recommendation would be if we came in with, if the
It-
bargaining group said to, I know what I would do in that situation, but it would be up to the superintendent and the board.
If you don't want me sharing the support, if I was in your shoes,
Mhm.
you better believe I'm gonna ask for the higher rate. I do not fault anybody for doing that. I'm gonna ask for, why would you ever ask for low? You always ask high, and I want to support you guys. I'm not trying to demonize, but how do you, what's the past practice of approaching a different pay rate?
I have been in this situation in a different district before.
Can you please
Yeah.
share that experience with us?
The administrators took the lower of the two, to be honest. When we came in a previous district of mine, because the two bargaining groups went separate, we were unrepresented along with all the other. The management took the lower rate.
So it's like, so is that kind of like, you said management negotiated with management, you guys got together, did a round robin?
We came in,
I'm being silly,
it
but
was the superintendent's recommendation. We brought it to the board and the board approved that.
because I'm just curious what kind of conversations, because let's be honest, we're in a structural deficit.
Yep.
We're asking for a bond.
Yeah.
It just throws me off. Like, how do you make these decisions? I want to know what's going on. Like, I want to see the wizard behind the curtain on this one. And just understand the process, because I'm very confused. And I'll be honest, in the past, let me just finish this thing.
Mhm.
Even with our interim superintendents and previous superintendents, it's almost like they expect the board to just say, yes, shut up and don't ask me a question. I want to be educated here.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I could share this with our constituents. How do these decisions be made for unrepresented and what you guys think is right?
So if I may.
Absolutely.
So the bargaining units essentially, because, the essence of a union is that you have collective bargaining,
Mhm.
right? So collective bargaining is essentially when you've got a whole group of people and then you've got representatives who are there to protect your interests. Unrepresented by their very nature do have nobody to represent their interest. There is no collective bargaining agreement. Essentially, there are no protections. There is no wall. There is nobody who is going to be there and say, yes, this is what we're doing and we're going to go into negotiations, right? Those kind of protections simply don't exist. And I say protections because they go along with the bargaining, the collective bargaining piece of it.
Yeah. I accept that as fact, but these are apples and oranges. We're not talking about everybody. I'm talking about the elite top of the pay scale. Where, yeah, you might not have the protections, but you're in an elite status of pay and compensation. It's kind of almost makes up for the fear of not having a bargaining unit because you're being well compensated. And like, do you guys on your own talk about the market basket? You know how we discuss market baskets with our unions? Do we have a market basket for management staff in this area? I mean, I don't, because I
We
don't know.
use a similar market basket to look at what others have done. And again, it gets
And I'm
into,
not saying no, I just want to understand like,
Yep.
this very niche group. And
so to your point, I'm guessing the law is there for that exact reason, because the law is for the executive members. In this district, the assistant superintendents are on the management pay scale with all managers it goes from assistant superintendent, supervisors, coordinators, principals, APs.
should
It's
there be a
not-
different pay scale for executives?
That is a board decision right now, or not right tonight, but that is if you wanted to restructure it, that would be
What would our assistant superintendent of HR recommend if we were to decide to
I am
Would it be
at the
easier to-
will of whatever the board and the superintendent would
Good
like me
answer.
to do. You like that
Yeah,
answer?
you figured- yeah.
They are,
I must applaud you
you'll
that you're
see it-
understanding how this works.
You'll see it both ways in various districts around the area. Where you'll have a cabinet or executive cabinet pay scale, and then you will have the rest of management.
So, and I just want to share this, I do plan on voting in support of this, but I do want us to take a step here. And we need to do a deeper dive into the philosophy and the mentality. Because we want to be equitable. I want to be able to look at our unions and say, it's like, no, we just didn't just rubber stamp and give our executives the highest pay raise possible. And also, and call out, like, I want to know more about how raises and correlations with directors, senior directors, how. I just think there needs to be a little bit more equity, and there needs to be something where we can respect your guys' work, but also we need to have some checks and balances here. Or at least understand the process more.
Yeah, fair.
And just thinking as a future thing, it could be possible to engage in a study session and in market baskets and that sort of thing, just for
The more
information.
information, the better. It's just, so we're not here saying. So a lot of times we're here in the dark and we're like, it is a very uneasy feeling to approve something like this when gas prices are $7 a gallon. The 3% that's gonna go with our lowest non-represented employee is not gonna really help out the gas basket. Let's just be honest, but at the executive level, that's a massive raise. It's apples. That's why I said apples and oranges. You might be all unrepresented, but we're not in the same, strata. You're not in the same field, park. We would, but educating us on stuff, maybe us trying to work together more so we could show our due diligence of, giving you guys what you deserve, but being equitable across all unions and non-reps.
So during negotiations, and they come up with these percentages that they want, do things like, performance and evaluation? No, it's nothing to do with that
For
CSEA and Federation.
No, we negotiate separate articles separately. And so both unions each year sunshine with compensation and pay as one of the articles to negotiate throughout the year. And so it is not tied to evaluation or performance.
Okay. Yeah, and if we could do what you said, that would be awesome, because to lump in the small, with the higher salaries is not something I'm comfortable with, but definitely I would I would support this today, being that everyone's all lumped in. So yeah.
Okay, so you have no further questions?
Yeah.
Further questions?
I
Okay,
don't.
I'm gonna open it up for public comment. Okay, seeing no one here, is there anybody on Zoom with a public comment? Okay, I'm gonna close public comment, and at this time, I'm gonna invite a motion.
Motion to approve item number 5.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna move to vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries unanimously. Next, we're gonna be moving on to our other item, which is board requests for information and or possible agenda items. I'm gonna start with you, Rick.
I'm just gonna probably echo some past ones and then maybe email you and Matt, but there is a new one. Explore college and career position, maybe one, or whatever we could do. The high school, and another new one, but I did mention it once.
Okay.
But I saw a couple other districts have, and it would help, the more people, the better, but agenda setting committee, I mentioned it before, as long as you don't have a quorum and we're learning, and I was like, that's a great idea, people are involved, like nothing gets passed and it's not just 2 people there and that's it, it's more people. So I would like to see what the board feels on that. And
We can add it as an agenda item to one of our governance workshops. We can look at the schedule.
And I had thought of, but I didn't bring it up,
Yeah.
about when Angelo, mentioned, Veterans Day. I saw different municipalities, bring resolutions to the cemetery on Memorial Day and, to recognize, would be great for both veterans and, Memorial Day, if the board,
I appreciate that, Rick, that you said that. And something
Yeah.
I'll talk later, but it came to my knowledge. We've actually had a student. I don't know if he's an alumni, but he was a student of ours that died in Iraq in 2007, being blown up by an IED.
Wow.
And it's just no talks, no remembrance. It's like, we need to step it up.
Yeah, and then I had some stuff to maybe show, maybe at the next meeting that I see at other districts, that it kind of acknowledges like some students and staff and board members, and I'll show you guys later. And then that's it. I'll email the rest.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Angela?
I shall send an email.
Okay, wonderful. I have no board report. I'm sorry, board requests for information. So with that, I invite a motion to adjourn.
I will motion.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, our meeting is at adjourned 9:16 PM.